feel like for me, whatever you connected with that brought you here, we are here today. So I see we got somebody in here, Bobby Washington. Thank you for showing love and showing up. Jaimir Beard, everybody give a hand for Jaimir Beard being here doing this thing. We're gonna get started with this Million Man meditation because I want to respect your time on a Saturday and I want to get this thing going. And we got some guests that are gonna be showing up and just being brilliant and doing what they do as masters of their craft and as powerful men who wanted to give time to their community today and wanted to share. So Million Man meditation is just a powerful thing that hopefully will ignite you to move towards healing, to move towards peace, to move towards power. And join us, man, as we keep building this and doing this and making it happen. If you can scroll up for me, please, DJ. What they call you? What's your nickname again? Yeah, I didn't give you a nickname. Somebody else gave you that nickname. What's your nickname that they gave you at school? Cool J, Smooth J, or something like that? Jay Breezy. I got my godson over here, Jay Breezy. He helping me with the electronic part, man. Just living in action, making sure we get it going. It's always about mentoring, giving it back, man. And I want to thank you to the 100 black men of the Inland Empire for being our sponsors. If you don't know, I want you and need you to know that 100 black men of the IE is all about inspiring and empowering. They are known for reaching back. I gotta get my glasses on this. I'm sorry, y'all. They're known for reaching back and giving back. One of my founding and forming formulative organizations here with the 100 Black Men. 100 BMIE really showed me some love and picked me up and helped me to really develop and has always been a part of this event. 100 BMIE is known for reaching back and giving back. It is an organization who administers the four for the future pillars, which are health and wellness, yeah, education, economic empowerment, and mentoring within our community. So where I'm at now, you know where
Good
we
morning,
are.
DJ. Good morning. You doing, man?
Morning. We're about to get started in a little bit. We're just gonna get the video part.
Wherever you
Okay.
are, let me know
And
where
we're
you
gonna head in
are.
the back.
100 BMIE also creates opportunities for youth. It serves to discover and explore their unique gifts and talents. All right. So if you are in the IE, make sure you check out exactly how you can be a part of the 100 Black Men of the IE and check it out there. So, Jamir, stay on that one. You can just go because you have to. Got you. So we gotta admit some people. Keep it going. Got my godson on Facebook up there. We looking at. Gentleman Hunter, what's going on? All right. So once again, thank you to our sponsor, lead sponsor, 100 Black Men of the Inland Empire. And shout out to Gentleman Hunter, Gentleman Williams, and all the other amazing gentlemen there who's still rocking with the 100 Black Men. Gentleman Willis, the president. All right, we're gonna go to the next slide. Swipe up. So, thank you again to our sponsor, also the City of side, they recognize that sponsorship plays an important role in supporting our community. And as being part of the community, the city sponsorship program provides local nonprofit organizations with the opportunity to apply for city funds. And that's what we did. And that's where we at. City of Riverside is showing us some love. So shout out to the city of Riverside. Thank you so much. And then shout out to Kashif Bay too coming on here. And shout out to Amplify Love. Scroll on up for me, nephew. All right. So if you don't know, they have an amazing program that's really working on stopping smoking. The cessation of smoking. As we know, a lot of African Americans are targeted, and especially African American youth are targeted for smoking, the menthol, the jewels, all the fun flavors and stuff, the cool flavors. They target us. So we're working with Amplify to help the cessation of smoking and fostering the legacy of physical, mental, and spiritual wellness. All about wellness. Supporting Black communities across California. We love California. We are Amplified African American Black statewide coordinating center, changing education and engaging our community to educate the number one killer of Black people. Deaths caused by tobacco and nicotine addiction. Amplify the voices, culture, wisdom, and collective strength of our people to build strong, healthy communities. All right. Now, these are our sponsors. Shout out to our sponsors. Make sure y'all find out what they're doing in your community and how you connect with them. And reach out to the sponsors so you can find out more about you getting connected with these great
What's going on, y'all? It's James Woods, aka Dat Yoga Dude. Well, feel free. And welcome to the studio, my house, where we're really going to get down for the Million Man Meditation, the 5th annual Million Man Meditation today. So come on into the studio. Let me show you the setup and everything. Thank you so much for being here today. So we all have our homes, our spaces, and this is my space, and I'm welcoming you. This is also a space where I do my yoga, my meditation, my mindfulness, and where the ideas and the concepts from Million Man Meditation came from. So as you come on in, I want to show you my space here. Today, I am excited to turn this off because we got the little audio thing going on. Hey, y'all know it's technology. We always working with something. Thank you so much. It takes a team, it takes a village to get this stuff done. So I'm so happy to share with you, my village, my team, my community, all this work that we're putting in to make sure that Black men are getting what they need to take care of themselves. Now, my journey started about 10 years ago. Right? I graduated from high school, graduated from college, and I was in need of something more than what college gave me, in need of just the basic education. I was in need of the education of myself. Get me to know who I was, mentally, physically, spiritually. And thankfully, I stumbled across some yoga, some mindset practices, some healthy practices on how I can eat and live better to help myself, my mind right, and of course, be there for my community. All right. So as I bring you to my personal home, I'm also bringing you to my personal practices. And as a Black man, I understand some stresses that we go through. And bringing the healing is a part of creating a positive community that we all can be a part of. So you as a Black man here today, thank you so much. Not a Black man, but somebody who loves and cares for a Black man. Thank you so much for being here today. Hopefully you have the space that you can do your yoga, your mindfulness, and meditation, or whatever that you do to take care of yourself in. But I welcome you to mine to get this started today. So get yourself some water, get a towel, get a yoga mat, or whatever that you need to get ready to go for today. We're going to be getting into some Qigong, Tai Chi. We're going to get into some information from our good doctor. We're going to do the things that we need to do to take care of ourselves, all right? And as we get into that, I want you to really take in consideration what it is that you need for yourself to heal, to deal with the stress, to deal with the tension, to deal with the tightness, to deal with sometimes the lack of focus that this comes from everything that's happening in this world today. Take this time, take advantage of me, take advantage of being in my space, being in my home to create peace and wellness within you in your own home. So I'm excited to be here. I'm excited that you're here. We're going to get started with our class, our yoga class. I know you're ready to jump into it. I am too. Make sure you have all the things that you need, which includes just your beautiful Black self. And we're going to jump into it. Y'all ready? All right, let's go. We're going to head outside on this beautiful day. We're going to show y'all a little bit more of how you can take care of yourself on this Saturday. Of course, you got the kitchen. That's where it starts. Making sure we're eating right, feeling good, feeling right. And then we're going to step back outside. Of course, outside, that's vitamin D, the sun, helping us to feel good. So I want you to check it out. You got one minute taking right there. I want you check it out, get ready, get all the stuff that you need. And in the next 5 minutes, we're going to set up so we can get our meditation and yoga session on. All right. So make sure you get your towel, your water, your space, and all that you need to get ready to join us for this class. Y'all ready? All right, let's go. Peace. So whenever we're doing our yoga or meditation, we are first getting ourselves together. Come on in. Everybody come on in. Grab the space. You see, even if we need a chair, if we need a mat, whatever we need to make sure we getting our meditation in. So meditation is, of course, a practice of stilling the mind. Now we know the mind not gonna stop because that's what the mind is supposed to do. It's supposed to keep going and running, right? Figuring out what's happening in the world. But we can take on some practices to help us focus the mind. All right. So as we focus the mind, we incorporate the breath, incorporate the body, incorporate all the things around us to bring the mind to one space, to one focus. All right. So I'm gonna lay the mats out. This will be mine. All right, we're working on the backyard, y'all. We're working on it. We building the garden, my man, the sheep here. We're gonna work on the backyard, make sure we get some grass and stuff going. But as of right now, we're gonna just lay the mats out. All right. So I'm gonna lay the mats out here. I'm gonna be here under the tree, my main man Earl. So it doesn't matter what age, it doesn't matter where you at, what stage in your life. It's always some ways that we can take time to just chill and relax the mind and allow ourselves to take a break from all the business that's going on. All right. So whether you're sitting down in your chair or whether you're on the ground on the mat, it doesn't matter where you're at. We got brothers from all different ages, ranges, shades, places, locations, and wherever you are is a perfect spot to be. So I want to make sure y'all can hear me, y'all can see me. Y'all doing good? Everybody doing good? All right, cool. If you haven't already, make sure you get your water, make sure you get you in a place that's nice and peaceful, get you a candle, get you an incense, whatever, to make sure you're in the space. Can y'all hear me? They can hear me? Good, sound is good. Oh, I got a little bee on me. Make sure he can hear me. Focus. All right. Sound good? Cool. All right, so we're gonna get started with what I could like to call the chilled out challenge. So I work with kids. Whenever I work with kids, it's always a challenge to get them to be still. So when I talk to them and I start, even when a train going by, we have some distractions, you always got to bring it back. And we bring it back to the voice, we bring it back to the breath. It doesn't matter what's going on, you're still breathing. And if you're not breathing, that's the issue, that's a whole nother class. But your breath is constantly there with you. So as we have the breath, we use that as an anchor to relax and release. Now y'all see me sitting like this. This has been like 10, 20 years of trying to sit like this. You can sit like my man Earl with your legs propped up. You can sit like my man Jelani right there with your legs cross applesauce, whatever it is, however it is. Or you can even sit with your legs straight out in front of you. What we want to do is we want to try to get our backs, our sore, tired backs as straight as possible. Sometimes I even have my back up against the wall, up against the bed or whatever to have that support. But I want to get my back nice and tall so I can breathe in and out of my belly. If I'm slumped over like this, I'm not getting all the oxygen that I need into my body. My shoulders relaxed, my chest is up. I get to sit under this nice tree on a beautiful shaded day. I'm taking advantage of it. So I'm going to sit up nice and tall. My hands are going to relax on my legs. I'm going to find my breath. What does that mean? That means our mind is racing, our body is tight and tense, and we're going to bring it to the breath, meaning you feel your belly just kind of pooch out as you breathe in, and then you feel your belly just collapse as you breathe out. We're going to breathe in and out of the nose. Why? Because we have this thing called the central nervous system. When we breathe in and out of the nose, it helps to activate that, to calm down and relax. I always hear when somebody say, getting on my nerves, that's real. We can calm ourselves down and relax by breathing in and out of the nose. I'm gonna count from 1 to 10. Every time you hear my voice and a number, it's just a reminder to breathe. It's just a reminder to let go of the tension in your shoulders, your chest, and your legs. It's just a reminder to be still in your mind and your body. Your mind is gonna float all over the place, but when you hear those numbers, it's gonna bring it back to the breath. Then you can relax and chill. Starting off my day like this and starting off the practice like this, one of the main ways I build in my meditation. All right, so we're gonna get started. On the count of 3, I wanna breathe in through my nose and then breathe out of my nose. Y'all ready? All right, cool. Let's go. 1, relax the shoulders. 2, soften my face. 3, Take a deep inhale, breathe in. Fill the belly up, fill the lungs. Through the nose, I exhale longer than the inhale. Inhale, breathe in. Tall spine, sit up nice and tall. Exhale through the nose, breathe out. Good. Let's count it down. 9, breathe in. Breathe out. 8. 7, relaxing the body. 6. 5, staying focused. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Good. Inhale slowly, deeply. Sit up nice and tall. Just take a second to check in with your brain, check in with your body. If things slow down for a second, or you're racing into what you got to do for the rest of this Saturday, was your body tense and tight as you recognize and realize where you probably need to do a little bit more stretching at? Being able to meditate is just being still and connecting with your body in a way that a lot of times we don't do because we got so much other stuff going on. All right. Let's take another deep breath in through the nose. And this time we're going to breathe out of the mouth, giving our body that release, letting the shoulders relax, letting the chest open up. Let's take a deep inhale, breathe in. And then open mouth, exhale. Good. Breathe in. Open mouth, exhale. One more, breathe in. There are several different types of meditation we can get into. All different names, styles, and crazy things. One thing I can always remember is my numbers, thankfully. Shout out to the Los Angeles Unified School District. And I can remember my breath. I got those with me at all times. Help me still my mind, collect my thoughts. It's one of the most powerful things I can do, especially as a back man. So many things coming at us on a daily basis. We're going to get into some movement, all right? My movement practice is all for my meditation practice. I move so I can feel comfortable in my body, so I can feel comfortable in my mind, all right? Y'all ready to move? Cool. All right, let's go. So whether your legs are out in front of you or whether your legs are stacked, it doesn't matter. We're just going to have our upper body move as our lower bodies relax. Once again, let's sit up nice and tall. Chest opens up. Y'all know when the chest tightens, when we're stressed out, we hold stuff in. We want to make sure that chest opens and we can relax and release. The shoulders relax. We carry the weight of the world on these. And then we're going to breathe in. And I'm going to take my left shoulder and bring it down towards my right leg. I already feel a little stretch right here in this section right here. That breakfast burrito, that's where that usually goes, right there. I feel that stretch to my body. And if you want to, you can add that right arm out and over and feel that stretch. We want to stretch and open up the lymphatic system. What does that mean? Our body has a sewage system. We got to stretch it and pump it out. Make sure we flush out the toxins in our body. Let's take another deep breath here. Breathe in, relax the face, relax the shoulders. We're not groaning, we're not grunting. We're just breathing. Inhale. Good. Exhale slowly. I'm going to come back to the center. Sit up nice and tall. Align my spine all the way from my tailbone to the top of my crown. Yes, you have a crown. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, I'm going to lean to the other side. Now, your lean is up to you. Maybe you just want to lean here. Maybe you want to reach all the way out and stretch out. If you're in the chair, you can still do that in the chair, just holding on to the side of the chair, dropping that leg down, opening up. I feel the stretch in my armpits, my ribs open up, allow me to breathe even deeper. And we're here for another 5. Relax the face. You can look down and look up, whatever is going on with your neck. 4. Breathe. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, slowly pressing into that right hand. Coming up, sitting up nice and tall. We want to work on our core, not just so it's an 8-pack, like my man Earl and all y'all other there, so it can be strong and functional, so we can be able to breathe in and out of it, relax and release. All right. I'm going to slowly take these legs and extend them out. This is the stretch before I play ball, after I play ball, or even just living my life. Hamstrings are attached to my lower back. My lower back is always tight from sitting up in chairs, in cars, positions. So I want to release and relax my lower back. I'm not going to rush. I'm not in a rush to get there, but I am in need of oxygen to fuel the legs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to inhale, breathe in, stretch up, reach up. And as I exhale, I'm going to lean forward, bending from the waist, feel those hamstrings stretch, curl those toes back, and then go wherever I can go. It's not about what it looks like. It's about what it feels like. If you feel the stretch already right here, perfect. If you want a little bit more, you can drop your chin towards your chest. And you feel that stretch up from the tailbone all the way to the back of the skull. If you want more, you curl those toes back, you feel your hamstrings engage, your calf muscles engage. And if you want more, you extend the body out, fold forward, maybe grab something, an ankle, a toe, or a foot, somebody else's ankle, toe, or foot, and extend the body. This is all about the breath. So wherever you are, we're going to spend the next 5 deep breaths there. Now, I know we used to forcing and fighting and pushing and pulling, but we ease into it with the breath. Let's take a deep breath here. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let's take 4 more. Breathe on the breath. Let whatever else happen around us happen. Breathe in and breathe out. 1 more deep breath. Breathe in. And then exhale. Take this last comfort zone. Inhaling, slowly rolling up and out. Sitting up nice and tall. Full body stretch there. When I work on my lower body, I also want to work on my upper body. It's perfect time. Let's do a shoulder roll here. Let's take these heavy shoulders. Inhale, roll them up. Good. Breathing in, breathing in. Exhale, rolling back and down. I need 2 more of those. Inhale, my shoulders roll. See my shoulders come forward, squeeze. Good. And then exhale, roll back and down. My chest open, my collarbone relaxes. I feel the tension relax and release. Let's take 2 more here. Breathe in, shoulders roll forward, squeeze. This is with the breath. This is a system that we're tapping into. Exhale, back and down. The body has a system developed to relax, release, deal with stress, tension, tightness, and help us to relax and regulate on a mental, physical, and emotional level. Good. Nice. If y'all feel anything, drop a 1 in the chat. I got my fellas out here. Y'all looking all extra relaxed and everything like that. Good. I'm going to bring my left knee in. You're right. If y'all facing me, I'm bringing my left knee in. Good. Twisting it out. So we got some options. If you're sitting in a chair, you can just twist over your left side. Good. Twisting like that. You got that chair to use. You can even use the back of the chair to twist it out. If you're on the ground like me, you can use that left leg and the right hand and twist into it. My left hand's behind me. I'm pressing to the ground, keeping my spine tall. Now we want to get this spine nice and tall. My chest is up. My shoulders are relaxed. And I'm twisting over. And y'all be careful. If that leg doesn't need to come up, it don't need to come up. You just twist it out. All right? And this is good enough. In sports, we always trying to go to the next level. We always competing with somebody else and what we see. In yoga, there's no competition. It's easing past discomfort. It's easing past disease. All right. We want to make sure our body is flowing and feeling good naturally. So we got some options. We got the chair option. We got the twist here. If you want more, you can bring that knee in and bring that elbow over. Ooh, when you feel that back twist, crinkling and crunching, sound like a bag of chips just opening up, all those things going on. looking over my left shoulder. Breathe in here. Exhale, slowly release, coming back the other side. Whew. And I want you to just notice what comes up for you when you're opening up the back, when you're opening up the hip. Why are you trying to force it? Why are you trying to be easy, be relaxed, be cool, be calm, especially as Black men, being able to have the presence of mind to say, hey, we can walk through this. We don't have to run it down right now. The run, the fight, the warrior in us, it's gonna come. But right now, we are taking the time to chill, relax, and release. Same thing on the other side. Y'all ready? Inhale, take whatever option you need from that tall spine position. Exhale, you twist over to the other side. Relax the shoulders. Tall spine, relaxed shoulders. Heart and chest is open. Breath is deep. I want you to breathe right here, deep into that belly. Breathe in and out. Feel the internal organs cleanse with the fresh oxygen, relax and releasing as the shoulders soften, the jaw relaxes. And we're here for another 3, 2, and 1. Good. Slowly coming back to the center. Once again, let's get up nice and tall. If those legs are out, you can straighten them out. Both hands reach up, stretch up. Tall spine, core strength, hips pressing down. Breathe in. Exhale, I fall forward. I relax, I release. Nice. Once again, going to wherever you need to go. The hands may be right here. You might just be a little lean, but you feel that big stretch in your back. Wherever you are, where you're supposed to go. I'm gonna take my hands and extend them out. If I can get some more, I'll take it. My shoulders are relaxed. I feel that stretch in my back. Take another breath here, breathe in. I'm gonna bring my chin to the chest, feel the back of my neck open up, my spine elongate. Good. Inhale, slowly coming back, opening up. Whew. All right, especially as men, we don't work and stretch into our hips in the groin area. We just don't do that. But it's so important to take care of our hips. So we're gonna bring our feet together, butterfly pose. We've all played football, basketball, or whatever. We came into this butterfly pose position. But this is major and huge for us, helping to release the tension and tightness in our center area, dealing with the tightness in the hips and the groin. We don't have to do nothing. We good right here. We're just letting gravity do the work for us. The knees are falling away. I'm bringing my spine up. Good. Rolling the shoulders back. Relax the face. Breathe in. Allowing the space to just open up by itself. Good. If you want more, you can grab the top of your toes. Don't force anything. Just ease forward and down. Good. Or if you want some more in the groin, you can bring the hands to your ankles and use the elbows just to push down just a little bit more. All right. LeBron James spends $1 million on his body a year. We all know that. Big part of that is yoga, Pilates, meditation, mindfulness work. It's about preserving a body. We are vehicles. And in this vehicle, we want to make sure the gas is running good, the oil and everything, the tires is. Take time with our body, all right? Take a deep inhale, breathe in. Let's get a little bit taller in the spine, reach up, stretch up, shoulders down, heart open. And then exhale, lean just a little bit further, deeper stretching the hips. Breathing in. Good, slowly coming out. All right. Sitting up nice and tall. Good. We're going to transition into some standing positions as we slowly bring the legs back in. If your legs shake and wobble a little bit, that is releasing tension in the muscles, all right? We'll talk about that more later. All right, we're going to come into a standing position. If you're sitting down, you can stay sitting down. If you want to stand, you can stand. I'm under the trees. Can y'all still see me in here? All right, now, that transition from seated to standing is huge. Being mindful of your body, where you placing your hands, where you placing your legs. A lot of times as we make that transition, we want to just rush and hurry up and stand up. The blood flow, the way our body's moving, we want to be careful and easy with it, all right? And if we're staying seated, perfect, that works too. The first thing we're going to do is once again, work out these hips from our mountain pose. All right, can y'all see me? I got the nature. This is extra nature right here. My feet are hip distance apart. Boom. My knees, my ankles, my shoulders are all in line together. Mountain pose. Feels mystical and magical here. I'm gonna roll my shoulders back and down. My palms come forward. Good, good, good. Mountain pose. Whether you're in a chair, whether you're standing. Mountain pose is you creating that foundation. I live in beautiful Riverside, California. I get to walk outside and see the mountains, and I get that feeling of grounded. I get that feeling of centeredness. And I bring it into my own body. How many times we walk out in the world and we feel like I might not belong here? This looks like it's not for me. We feel like we're disconnected. We got to get grounded. We got to get centered. A firm foundation in our body, and of course our breath. Let's take 3 deep breaths, breathing in and out of your belly. Whether you're sitting and standing, I want your spine tall, your shoulders relaxed, hands come down to the side. I feel that energy. I'm full of energy. I'm gonna feel it and stay connected to it. Relax the shoulders. Let's take 3 deep breaths here. Inhale, breathe. Fill the belly up. Exhale, the belly empties. Feel the body soften. Let's take 2 more of these. Breathe in and breathe out. Relax and release. All right. Now y'all all seen the martial arts movies, Into the Dragon, Kung Fu, the series, the movie. They always have a strong stance here, building that firm stance within ourselves. We take this stance and we transition into our movements. Yoga movement is all about how we can stay still within ourselves, and we do that with the breath. Sun salutations. There were some times in my life where I feel like I couldn't even get out of bed. But being able to learn these practices and stay up with them helped me to make it out the bed and continue with my day. Sun salutations, along with my meditation, along with my actual prayer, is like a physical prayer for my body. Open it up and getting ready to put on that armor for the rest of the day. All right, so we're gonna go through a sun salutation. And you can still do this in the chair or wherever you're at. But I'm gonna show you the full body view first. Y'all ready? All right, let's go. Sun salutations. I'm gonna inhale under the trees, bring both my hands up, stretch up nice and tall. Hope y'all can see me. Ooh, if you have shoulder issues, it don't matter if you're here, there, wherever. Just bring your hands up as much as you can. I'm gonna bend back slightly here. See my back bend as my chest rolls up, opens up. And you feel the whole front of your body. Good. We got the dorsal, the back, and we have the anterior, the front of the body. All that means we got a back and a front. Exhale, I'm gonna slowly fold forward. Bend it from my hips, bend it from my knees, folding forward, taking our time. Before we drop down, we breathe out. Slowly, 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 slowly. Bam. If you feel it here, this is where you stop. If you want some more, go get you some more. Bringing the chin towards the chest, folding forward, relaxing and release. Good. Now, here's an opportunity to really stretch in the hamstrings. You can bend the knees back and forth, moving the hips left and right. We don't want to lock the knees because that's cutting off circulation. We want to make sure the hips and the legs are full of blood, full of oxygen. Nice. Now, if we want to, we can step back or we can take a deep inhale and just slowly bring our hands to our legs right below the knees, coming up halfway flat back. Why? You see my hips going that way, my head going the other way. My back is flat as an ironing board, but I feel the strength and stretching in my lower back. I feel the shoulders stretch and strengthen. I breathe in deeply here, inhale, and then exhale, folding forward. Bend the knees, drop the hips. We're gonna come into a chair pose. All right, I know y'all been through this football practice, basketball practice, and you just getting in trouble somewhere. Squat pose almost. Our chair pose here is helping us to build the strength in the legs, the strength in the knees, and more importantly, the strength in the mind. I'm holding this pose, thank you. Bring my arms out here, bringing my hands into my chest, whatever feels comfortable. We only here for another 5, breathe, stay focused. Let's bring these knees a little bit closer in. 4, yep, keep the back up. 3, staying focused. 2, I'm gonna fold forward. Relax and release. Drop the head, Shake the head to the left, shake the head to the right, shake the legs, shake the body. Nice. And I'm going to slowly start to roll out through the spine. So tuck my tailbone just a little bit and drag my head, drag my neck, drag my shoulder. Bring both hands up to the sky. Breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. Arms come back behind my ears. Bring those arms back. And I'm going to bring my chest up as I bring my arms down. Ooh, like you just waking up. Good nap. Bring the hands back and down, relax and release. Let's do that once again because it feels good. Inhale, both hands reach up, stretch up. Arms go behind my ears. Bring my chest up, shoulders open. Find that balance. Press those feet down. Exhale. Relax and release. Good. Let's do a shoulder roll here because it feels good. Squeeze those shoulders. Exhale back and down. This time I'm going to squeeze the shoulders and bring them back first and then forward. Ooh, that's a whole different move. Back and then forward. Nice. That's all we need. Of course, we can get into the downward dog and the lunges and the cobra, but that right there is enough to get your day started. Your endorphins, the feel goods is kicking in. Your blood flowing. How y'all feeling? Y'all feeling all right? Good. Just getting your day started, getting the stretch. We do have the ambulance so too, just in case. But it's getting the body moving, getting that energy flowing, especially in the morning time. You start, the day start, ready to go. We're going to bring it back down. We're going to bring it back down into our seated position as we start this class. Of course, it's giving you a sample. If you want some more, you can always get some more. Coming back and down into a seated position. Good. Now that we've moved the body, we've created more energy within the body, it's time to deal with the mind. So that just 5 minutes, even if that, of moving the body, and you already feel more alive. You already feel more awake, aware, and present within your body. And of course, you can build onto the practice, adding more, taking away things that don't work for you, but it all still comes back to the mind. Because if your mind is not going to get you on the mat, then your body won't benefit. Especially, October, it's starting to get cold, it's dark in the morning. You don't want to get up and get out the bed, but you need to, not only for you, but for your family, your community, and your loved ones. We need you healthy. We need you taking care of yourself, brothers. So just to have a basic practice, fundamentals, is something that's going to go a long way. It's about consistency over time. It's about discipline, staying to it. I don't have to preach to you and I won't. I just want to show you some tools to help you, to help out the community that we love, that we depend on. All right, so we did all the moving, I've done all the talking. Now we're going to do what we call a body scan. All right. So in this body scan, this is a mindfulness meditation here, where we really just do a recap. We just go through the body and we take notice, we take inventory, we take stock of all the stuff that's going on, whether it's the tightness in our shoulder, whether it's the tightness in our back, the sore, the stiffness in our knees, or maybe it's still that mind that can't settle and it continues to run. Whatever it is, we're just taking inventory. And we're not judging, we're not criticizing, we're not analyzing, we're not ESPN, we're not around the horn, we're not gonna beat up on ourselves, point the finger and all that. We're just gonna see it is, what it's for, and then we're gonna keep it moving. Taking note, okay, my shoulders is tight, I need to do something about it. Maybe just breathe and keep it pushing. So you can sit like this, you can sit in your chair, or you can lay flat on your back. A lot of times we don't give ourselves the opportunity to relax and just lay back. I'm giving you the permission to do so now. So whatever works for you. You can have something back on your chair or whatever. Lay down if you need to. Go ahead and lay down. And if I hear somebody start to snore, that's okay. Enjoy it, enjoy it, enjoy it, enjoy it. Wherever you are, I still want you to keep that presence of the body as you start to move the focus towards the breath. What does that mean? That means you just notice when your belly rises as you inhale, and you notice the belly collapsing as you exhale. Find a comfortable spot for your hands. Palms up, symbolizing you're ready to receive something good coming to you. Palms down, Maybe you just need a little bit more grounding, a little bit more foundation, moving through something right now. You need something strong to stay on to. Wherever you at, you can do both hands. But find your breath. I want you to relax the entire body. Toes are relaxed. The tops and the bottoms of the feet. Relax the ankles. Let that relaxation move up through the shins, the calf muscle. The stiffness is out of the knees as you let them relax. The back of the knees, the kneecaps, feel fluid and smooth. Your legs, secure and relaxed. Let the hips feel open, not tight and tense, released, fluid. Breathe deeply into your lower back. Deep breath. And exhale, let the stomach collapse as it releases. Soften the chest. No tightness, no tension. Feel your whole back just soften as the shoulders fall away from the ears. The collarbone relaxes. The arms are comfortable along the sides. Relax your wrist, your hand, your finger. Take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, the throat releases, letting the tongue fall from the roof of the mouth as you soften your jaw. No clenching, no grinding. Breathe deep and relax. Staying focused on your breath as you relax the back of the neck, the back of the skull, and the temples behind the eyes as you soften the sides of the skull. Breathe all the way into the crown of your head. Feel the relaxation fall over your entire body. As you take your next 3 deep breaths, stay focused on breathing, relaxing, and releasing. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Just taking notice of your body and your mind where you are. Being with yourself. So many distractions today. Keep us out of our mind, out of our body. Just being able to be with yourself, one of the hugest, most powerful gifts you can give to you and your loved ones. Whenever you're ready, just roll your shoulders, shake your hands, stretch your arms. Coming back into moving your neck, whatever is going on, just taking notice. If you ain't ready to come back, stay there. Enjoy your breath, enjoy your break, brother. So these tools are for regulation, all right? Not just keeping ourselves calm, because sometimes calm is not what we need to be in the moment. Sometimes calm is us stuffing down all those emotions. But if you feel calm, cool. But you just regulated yourself. You didn't let anybody take you up here, and you're not gonna let anybody bring you down here. You get to regulate yourself. You can bring your hands to your heart. Relax your shoulders. Brothers, I thank you so much for taking the time to join me. I appreciate you making an effort to be better for yourself and our community. And as always, feel free to feel free. And namaste. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I want to thank everybody for the session, brothers, sisters, all my brothers here live. Thank you. I appreciate you. We're going to keep this thing rolling. We have some amazing presenters today. Do me a favor, drop it in the chat. Just one word to tell me how you feel right now after that session. Just let me know how y'all feel, what's going on in your mind and your body. And we're going to continue to keep this thing rolling. So get ready for some amazing presentations from wellness practitioners, doctors, and some folks who've been studying this wellness stuff for longer than me. I'm excited about it. All right, we're going to take a quick break so we can get ourselves set up again. And then we are going to move to the next presentation. Thank y'all so much. Keep rocking with us. Million Man Meditation 2021. Let's go.
I'm ready. I'm ready. Thank you so much. I'm ready. I'm excited for this next session. This brother is light, man. He just is pure light. I've seen all of his work on social media, and now I'm excited to see him live and in the session and being a part of this. I was reading the description of all the things that he has done, and I just was blown away by how much he has invested into the work of being there for himself and being there for his community. He is a master chef. He is a Tai Chi Qigong practitioner, yoga, and the smile on this brother just lights up the room, man. He has, look at that. He has invested so much, and I'm glad that we are able to all benefit from his investment. Please
give a digital hand for Seba Inpu Ka Mat. All right, so we can get started. Thank you so much.
Peace, 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 peace. Thank you, Brother James, for that magnificent introduction. As the audio coming through well. Hopefully everyone is able to hear and see me well. Want to be able to get it in. All right. I know that we were sitting during the portion that I came in terms of the meditation. So we're going to start off seated. I'll get to intro some of the things that we're going to do. And then we're going to stand for a little bit. We don't need a whole lot of space to do this. And that's one of the reasons that I really enjoyed Qigong and Tai Chi Chuan, is that we don't need a lot of space. And so this is an art that really has transformed my life. I have been doing them since, well, a long time, we'll say, since the 1989 I started. And I had the good fortune of living for 2 years with my teacher. And so in part, and I was able to grow this particular practice. So what I'm going to start with is what we call an all over body check-in. I know y'all have already checked in and meditated. I just want to check and make sure certain parts of the body is warm, so that as we get going in this journey that we have together, we'll be able to move. And I'm going to have you try some things that may be a little outside of your normal movement vocabulary. And so just work with me on that. Right now, I want you to breathe normally. And what I want you to do is to take your left hand and put it out like this. Okay, because what we're going to do is we're going to start working on Tai Chi Chuan and Qigong is very helpful for folks that have, well, a wide variety of health issues. But what we're going to do is we're going to begin by reestablishing neural networks and reestablishing our relationship with our body through this practice. So put your left hand here, so we should be mirroring one another. And this is, Tai Chi Chuan is a martial art in addition to helping with your physical being, your emotional being, and your other subtle bodies. So hopefully you'll get an opportunity and we'll journey through that and I'll talk through some of the things you should be experiencing as we go. All right, so now what I want you to do is just take this hand and draw a circle slowly. And I want your hand to be right out in front of you. I want you to feel the weight of your arm on the shoulder. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see how far out it is. So I want the hand about here, okay, straight out, tuck the elbow under, and we're going to do this with both hands. Okay, so what you just, and then you're just going to rotate, keeping the elbow tucked under, and you want to use, and you want to get as much, and come all the way to here, bring it all the way around. Okay, I'm not going to come at y'all with some of the dad jokes that come with this, but this was one that we, in terms of our all over body check-in, I call it this the Beyonce, because when it was her and Serena on that Lemonade album, they were bouncing and gonna tell them, boy, bye. Tell them, boy, bye. And so it's a way for me to, when I'm working with young people, working with elders, way to keep some of the content connected. Now let's change directions. And what you should do is you should start feeling the muscles in your forearm talking to you, because this may be something that you have not ever done this length of time before. So we're working the full extension on the wrist, utilizing the muscles of the forearm to maintain the movement, and the shoulder is being kept up because we're tucking the elbow under. The muscles of the deltoids are engaged to keep the arm elevated. All right, let's stop, bring the hand here, and you're gonna wiggle all your fingers, and then one at a time. I like to use that third digit, second digit, third digit to bend, okay? Third digit on the thumb, second digit on these others. So you move them one at a time, okay? All right, now we're gonna switch to the right hand. Same thing. So let's get it in. Elbows tucked under, slowly, again, not fast. We wanna do it slowly because I want you to feel every muscle that's working. Okay, I want you to feel, because particularly in the hand and in the foot, not only do you have these tiny, in the hand, you have these tiny bones called metacarpals, which is where folks get the term carpal tunnel comes from. This exercise is also done to help you work on the wrist if you're having arthritic issues, okay? And so what it enables us to do is to see where we are in terms of our mobility. And as you age, this will be very beneficial because it's an all over body check-in. And so you can check your whole body. And that's what we're going to be doing today. So now come back the other direction. And what you should notice is you may have a little more flexibility with one side than the other. That is completely normal. And the goal for us is to build in that balance, to increase that relationship with our body that no matter which side we need, we are capable of providing what we need to keep our body whole. All right, now let's wiggle those fingers. And then one at a time. Now here's the fun part, which is why I wanted us to stay seated as we began. I want you to pick up that left foot. And I want you to just turn across. You can turn across your leg. And you're going to rotate that left foot. And what you're going to do is you're going to draw a circle with the toes. And you want to go all the way to point the toe to all the way when it's flexed back. And you're going to draw a circle with your toes. Utilizing the ankle the same way we use the wrist, turning it all the way around, making a circle. I'm going to scoot back. I got this wonderful little rolling chair just for this, so we can roll it around. You see it going around. Now go the other direction. And you should feel all the muscles in the calves and the support muscles there, providing you the mobility around the ankle, okay? Now the fun part, wiggle all your toes. All right, now start with just the big toe. Move just the big toe. And then work your way all the way down from the big toe to the second toe, all the way down to the pinky toe, moving one at a time. And because of the time frame we have today, I'm not going to show you my toes, but I do wiggle in all of them. And you want to work it out just so you can, it's okay. You may not work them today, but with practice, we switch legs and we go with the other foot. What you will find is that you start to begin to attain some skill with moving your feet. All right? And we don't want to use the word can't. That is not in our vocabulary while we're together. We can say it's difficult. We can say it's new. I haven't tried this before. This is a new experience for me. But we know that with appropriate amount of breath and practice and focus, we can accomplish great things. And so when you ask your body to do these things, change direction, your body will begin to respond to you. And what you may notice here with both ankles is that one may be more flexible than the other, right? Hugely important. All right, wiggle those toes. And now starting with the big toe, move just the big toe, all by itself, all the way down to the other toes, all the way down, second toe, middle toe, all the way down to the pinky toe, moving all by itself. All right, I see y'all working it out, magnificent. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna start at the shoulder. All right, so we're gonna move this left shoulder. You're gonna take it up, around, and back. And so what you're doing is you're utilizing parts of your trapezius muscle here, your deltoid muscle. You want the arm to just dangle because we know it's gonna stay attached. So just move it and let the arm hang. And part of what you're doing, y'all know about this, the major muscle in the chest is called your pectoralis major, yes? And so the beauty of this art also is that you learn the names of the body parts, how they work, how they function together. And again, we're moving it slowly. What this movement is doing when you take it through this full rotation is it also is that the pectoralis minor, which is slightly underneath and to the side, connects to the shoulder right here to the upper part of the bone right here. So see how my fingers are rotating? This is what that's doing. So you're actually stretching that muscle that you normally don't have the opportunity to stretch. All right, let's take it to the front. And for many of us as we age, if you're not putting forward the same type of physical activity, what happens is you start to get a shifting of the musculature, a shifting of the ligaments and tendons. And so you start to get these different kind of pains in your body. All right, now go the other direction with the other shoulder, start to the back. And so what this enables you to do is to serve to just through simple motion to begin to reconnect with the musculature, to engage the body, and to really check in and see. Okay, so now think about it. We've done the ankles, we've done the feet, we've done the hands, we've done the shoulders. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to do the neck. And so place your hands gently on top of your knees, nice and easy. Okay, you're going to sit tall. And if you can, you want to be at 90 degrees so that your feet are at 90, or if you're sitting in crisscross applesauce or simple lotus, half lotus, however you're sitting, you want to be back erect. Arms relaxed on top of the knees, palms on top of the knees, palms down. All right. So we're going to go from here. And after we do this one, we're going to do some standing postures. So I can then talk to you about what's working with your body and what we're doing and how these movements connect to your body in terms of healing, in terms of what you can do to impact different organ systems, different energy systems, different subtle bodies within. Got it? All right, glad we're still together. So now that we're here, what we're going to do is we're going to breathe in and you're going to turn your head to your left. Okay. And you're going to breathe out, and you're going to turn your head to the right. Breathe in, turn the head to the left. Breathe out, taking the head to the right. Breathing in, taking the head to the left. Then breathing out, taking the head to the right. Now, as you're looking right, breathe in, take the head up. While you're looking right, breathe out, tuck your chin. Breathing in, chin up, go as far as your body allows you to go. Listen to your body. Breathing out, chin down. Breathing in, chin up, looking right, breathing out, chin down. Breathing in, looking to the left. Looking left as you breathe out, chin down. Looking left as you breathe in, chin up. Looking left as you breathe out, chin down. Looking left as you breathe in, chin up. Looking left as you breathe out, chin down. Looking left as you breathe in, chin up. Looking left as you breathe out, chin down. Looking left as you breathe in, chin up. Breathing out to front and center. Breathing in, take the chin up. Breathing out, take the chin down. Keeping your shoulders relaxed. Breathing in, take the chin up. Breathing out, take the chin down. Breathing in, take the chin up. Breathing out, take the chin down. As you breathe in, take the head around slowly in a circle. Breathing normally. All right, now take the head the other way as you breathe in. Now this is our all over body check-in. So at your next in-breath, I want you to bring your head right back to front and center. All right, this is our all over body check-in. We usually start our day off this way. Just to check in with your body. You can do it right before your feet hit the floor in the morning, or if you have a pressing release schedule for your bladder or for your colon, you can do it seated from your porcelain throne as well. Okay, that way you can get it in and you can check in with your body in those ways. The next thing I want you to do is, if you're comfortable, you can place your right hand index finger of the right hand on top of the navel, okay? And you take those, your hand is gonna look like this, all right? The index finger of the right hand on top of the navel, place the other hands right alongside it, okay? So what you should feel is your pinky coming just right at the bottom of the hand. So what I want you to do is as you breathe in, I want you to push your stomach out. And as you're pushing your stomach out and you're breathing in, I want you to push from where your pinky is touching your belly. And as you breathe out, pull in. I want you to pull from that point where the pinky is touching your body. All right, breathing in, push the stomach out. And breathing out, pull the stomach back. Okay, this is what we call bellows breathing. Okay, so everybody should be able to feel where that pinky spot is now, yes? I get some nods in there. All right, so what we're gonna do now is an exercise that is gonna slightly warm the body up. So I want you to place your jaws lightly clenched. Okay, I want you to place your tongue at the roof of the mouth as if you're saying the letter L or N. L or N. Tongue in the soft palate of the mouth. Head is level, body is erect. So we're gonna breathe in, push the stomach out through the nostrils. You're gonna breathe out, you're gonna pull from that pinky spot. All right, I want you to close your eyes and breathe in and see your lungs fill with air and feel the air go past the lungs and fill the belly. And then breathe out. You want to pull in and push the air out from all the way deep down in the belly. And I want you to breathe in and see the breath come and fill the lungs all the way down to the belly to that pinky point. And you want to exhale, pull in from the pinky point. And you want to inhale, pushing the stomach out, seeing the breath down into the body, filling the lungs, filling the belly. I want you to exhale, pulling back. Last time, I want you to inhale, seeing your breath going down, filling the lungs, passing the lungs into the belly, filling the belly. And I want you to exhale, pulling belly inside. What I want you to continue to do as you feel that is to now release as you breathe in. I want you to open your eyes, keeping your shoulders relaxed, and you're gonna pull the stomach in as you exhale, expelling that air. Now give me a hands up or a thumbs up if you feel that your body got warmer during this process of you seeing your breath come down, filling up the belly past the lungs. Your body should be warm, yes? Everyone should be warm? Okay, now, what I want to share with you is in doing this, excellent. You would all do it. You got to make sure the tongue is in the right spot. Excellent. This is called our bellows breathing because many of us haven't ever seen a bellows. But a bellows, it works when you open it. You have to put in work to close it as well as to open it. And so you want to see this part of your body, your belly, as a vast reservoir of energy. And what you are doing with your breath is you're filling this reservoir with energy, with the breath, with the life-giving essence. And what we're going to do with the breath and the breath work, the Qigong, is what we're going to do is to transform that into the energy that makes our body more vital. Okay? So what I would like you to do is, if you can, where you are, you can do it from a seated position, but if you have an opportunity to stand with your feet shoulders width, because we worked on how to sit, and now we just worked on how to breathe. And so what I'm going to do now is have us work on how to stand. And so once we're standing, then we'll be able to get some work done. Does that work for everyone? I hope so. All right. Here we go.
I think I put an error on.
Say what?
Oh, nothing.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Feet parallel, shoulders width. Okay. What I want you to do is I'm going to turn sideways so you can see what's happening here. You're going to take your buttocks. You're going to squeeze the buttocks together and tuck the butt. And that drives the hips forward. Okay. So that you're balanced on, so that your weight, when you do that, you tuck your bottom under. And as you tuck your bottom under, you should feel the weight shift, and you should feel the entire weight of your body across the entire sole of your feet. Yes? Excellent. So now we're going to do a couple of breathing exercises that are going to energize the body, okay? So the first one we're going to do is one that we're known for. It's called the Asar stance. Asar is an energy was known as the main ruler out of Kemet. He's basically connected to forthrightness, justice, steadfastness. And you'll see that in the pose. This pose is called a pillar pose, dealing with his symbol, which is the Jed column. Has to do with being upright, forthright, like I said, steadfast. So what you do is you're going to take your hands and put them here like you're making a pyramid, like you see in the Namaste. So the hands are in here, but I want you to put them out further from the body so they'll be here. All right? And then from here, we're going to take 2 breaths using that bellows breathing. Remember, that's where we're going to breathe everything. We want to see the breath go down into the belly, past the lungs with each in-breath. We breathe in, push the belly out. Breathing out, pull the belly in. In. Out. Now what I want you to do is open your hands like you're going to give someone a hug. So the hands look like this, right out from the shoulders. Straight out, hands are relaxed. You want them kind of, you're in a bowl shape like you're holding a bowl. Okay, feet are parallel, shoulders width, butt is tucked. You want to be breathing through your nostrils. The jaws are lightly clenched. The tongue is at the roof of the mouth like you're saying the letter L or N. All right, excellent. So let's keep going. We're just going to do 8 breaths right here. You're going to relax your body, and I want you to visualize what I ask. You want to see your legs as the roots of a tree extending down into the earth. You want to see your torso as the trunk of that tree. Keep on breathing, using the bellows breathing. You want to see your arms as the branches of the tree. You don't want your middle fingertips touching, but you want them aligned. Hands relaxed. You want your head completely balanced on top of the spine like a bobblehead, light. And you want to see your head, the golden thread right from the crown, extending straight up into the heavens. So again, relax and breathe, push and pull the stomach from the pinky spot. See your body as the tree. Your legs are the roots extending down into the earth. Your torso is the tree trunk. Your arms are the branches. Your head is balanced right on top of the spinal column, floating light. And we're doing the full push and pull of the stomach with each breath. Breathing in, pushing the stomach out. Breathing out, pulling the stomach in. Breathing in, pushing the stomach out, seeing the breath while you see the tree, see your breath going inside that tree, all the way down past the lungs, filling the belly. All right, I'm not going to take y'all too much further. We got close to about 8, 9 breaths. Bring the hands into that pyramid shape again, like this. All right, so now you're going to do 2 breaths right here. You're going to let those arms come down. You're going to shake it out, opposite hand, opposite side. Opposites, y'all. That's right. Because again, we're reestablishing the neural networks. So we want to make sure that the mind talks to the brain, because the brain is part of the body. Remember, the brain is part of the body. So we want our mind to talk to the brain, so the brain will tell the body what to do. So doing this is fun, but it's also functional because I teach a martial art, like I said, so this becomes this. So I want you to see that fluid mobility, you start right here, shaking opposite hands, becomes your ability to deflect, strike, and strike simultaneously. Right from the very beginning, we're learning this by getting our mind together to control the brain and the body. Got it? I know that's not what folks are exactly looking for, thinking we're going to get happening, but our goal is to have our body and our mind become one. And so it's like spirit, mind, body. And so this particular exercise that we just did is something that you can do that will aid you in feeling rooted, feeling grounded, and feeling centered. And so if you're ever feeling like you need to get rooted or centered or feel like you're floating away, this is the exercise that you would do. It's called the Asar stance. We just did it. Got it? Good. Okay, feet parallel. I'm going to step back a little further. This position is called the Ka position. It's an opening receptive position. We're going to do some energy receptive positions at this time. And so this is one that enables you to transform. It's also, again, a rooting piece. So you're going to bring your hands up, and the goal is to have your elbows at the height of the shoulders, and the shoulders are relaxed. The hands face the head on both sides. You've seen this symbol before. Feet are at shoulders width, butt is tucked. 2 breaths. Here we go. In and out. Tongue at the roof of the mouth. In and out. All right, palms facing forward. 2 more breaths. Okay, now this one's going to be a little complex, but we're going to work it out. You're going to shift all the weight to the left. You're going to pick up your right toes and pivot 45 degrees and just step down on that right foot. You're going to step forward with the left. You're going to drop that right hand in front of your heart. Going to bring the left hand right out from in front of your forehead. You're going to shift and put all the weight on your right leg, tuck your bottom. All the weight is on the right leg. This is called the Dua position. There's a position of receptivity. We do it facing the sun, usually the rising sun, as a way to receive the healing energy from the sun beyond the vitamin D. So here we go, 4 breaths. All right. I moved a little quicker. We're breathing a little faster because I don't know the level everyone is at, so it's okay. You're going to step back with that left foot. You're going to shift the weight to that left leg. You're going to pivot on that right heel to bring it right back to the front. So your feet are straight and parallel again. You're going to bring these hands down. Now you're going to rotate the hands out as you bend the knees. You're going to straighten the legs. Do not lock the knees. You're going to bring the hands in to your chest, like you're bringing it into the chest, like you're bringing someone in for a tight hug. Palms are facing your chest. As you exhale, you're going to rotate, the palms are facing outward. You're going to sink, keeping the butt tucked and press out like you're doing the breaststroke. The arms come out and they come down. You're breathing in. So you're breathing in the healing energy all around you. You exhale, nose only on all of these. This is known as the gathering. You exhale on the way down. You inhale on the way up. Do not lock the knees. Exhale on the way down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. All right, now we're going to shake it out, opposite hand, opposite leg again. All right, so now feet parallel, shoulders width. What I want you to do is I want you to take both feet, turn them out 45 degrees. That way you can sit a little lower and tuck your butt, okay? Bring those hands back into that pyramid position again. We call this pyramid hands. We're going to go through a quick series that is known as Iron Shirt Qigong. We've done the kinetic Qigong, some of our aha, some of our, we're gonna do this. This is the martial Qigong. And then we're gonna get in a couple of quick medical Qigong, and then I'm gonna take some questions. Turn your palms up this way. Palms are up. Wrist is higher than the elbow. The toes and the knees and the arms are pointed the same direction. That's why that 45-degree angle is important. So you're gonna breathe in, and you wanna see 2 golden orbs in the palms of your hands that you're holding. And out, in, out. Rotate the palms only so that they face the ground. And do this again, breathing in and out, in and out. This next position is called the turtle. So you're gonna rotate the hands, gonna bring a fist, you're gonna tuck your chin, and then bring the hands in right next to the jaw. So I'm gonna get in tight. So it's like this, in tight, chin is tucked. And then from here, you're gonna exhale and bend forward from the waist, Bend forward, chin tucked. We just wanna go a little bit to flatten, to get to stretch the lower back, okay? Keeping the back flat, right in here, 2 breaths. And from here, keeping the chin tucked, you're gonna point the hands between the legs. Don't touch the body. Just right here, keeping the chin tucked for 2 more breaths. All right, and we're gonna bring it into oneness, this position we had before here. Okay, now this is another position that's almost like swimming. So let's be real easy. We call it rabbit through the chute. You're gonna sink down, bend the knees, and bring the hands back behind the kidneys. Gonna straighten the legs as you inhale, comes up the center of the body. Hands are here. They come this way to the center of the forehead. They turn around, they're like this. And then you press down as you exhale. Everything comes down, got it? Inhale behind the kidneys, up, center of the forehead. Press down as you exhale. Inhale, behind the kidneys, and exhale. Keeping your butt tucked the whole way, don't lean forward. Press it down, palms facing the ground. One more. Put ourselves in oneness. Okay. Right hand on top of left hand. Palms facing up to the sky, thumbs touching. Hands beneath the navel, arms and hands not touching the body. 2 breaths, just gonna relax right here. Remember, right hand is on top. You're gonna rotate the left hand on top. So the left hand is facing the right hand. The palms are facing. Right hand is on the underneath. Left hand is on top. You wanna see a ball of golden white light like the sun in between the palms of the hands. So let's go. See the ball, and you want to see that breath going down past the lungs, filling up the belly. Your next in-breath, we're going to come into oneness. Right here, excellent. Into the turtle, chin down, right? And then we're gonna lean forward out to what we call the drawbridge, right here. Lean forward from the waist, keeping the body balanced. Point the hands between the legs for 2 breaths, keeping the chin tucked. We're going to breathe into oneness. Into the pyramid hands. Let the hands come down. We're going to shake it out. Opposite hand, opposite leg. Opposites. All right. So from here, feet parallel, shoulders width, tuck your bottom. We're going to do the healing exercises. Now, this one, for those of you, we got some extra points for you. The blood is one of two pathways in the body. There are two liquid pathways in the body. One is the blood, and it has its own pump. What is the pump for the blood? What's it called? Okay, the heart. Okay. And it's the red path. There's also a white path in the body, which serves as kind of the body's sewage system. And anyone know what that system is called? Just checking in. Right, that is your lymph system. It does not have a pump. And so what we're going to do in this next exercise is a lymph system flush, which means it's able to also work with your immune system because that's what the lymph system supports. So you have at the base of the ankle here, a gathering of lymph glands. You have them here at the center of the body, right at the junction of the hips and the thigh bone. The largest collection is here under the arms, but you also have some that come through the kidneys because the kidneys serve for a filtration system for the body. And then you have them right here at the neck underneath the jaws right here. And then the tonsils are all part of that lymphatic system. Got it? Okay, so this exercise was taught by my elder, and it is taught, was taught to me by my elder. He is part of the Blue Dragon Immortal Qigong series out of Tibet. And this movement is called swinging arms. We also have this in our system. I really like the way it's done in his system. So I'm utilizing it his way. So again, you're gonna come up on the balls of your feet, and then you're gonna rock back on the heel, okay? So here's the movement. You're gonna come in up on the balls of the feet. The arms come all the way up, palms facing you. As the body comes down, the hands come down, palms face down. The arms go back. You want to get as much range of motion as you can. And that's when you come up on the heel as the arms go back. So you're able to maintain your balance. Then you come up and back. And it's not slow, it's at full speed. So I'll show you, it's like this. Got it? So we're gonna do about, we'll do like 30, okay? And then I'll tell you what they're about. Here we go, let's go. Excellent. You can also do this from a seated position if you can get the range of motion on the arms. All right, let them swing on their own and stop. This is a motion, like I said, it's a lymph system flush. It also recalibrates the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system. So that's your fight or flight or freeze, as well as your documentation, your ability to connect with your environment. So we want to have those systems in balance. And what this also does is it resets the immune system. The goal is to build up to doing it for 90 seconds. You don't want to be completely out of breath. So I kept it short. You build up, and I say a good target. We have a good breadth of folks. Use your number of years on Earth as a good target. Just start there. All right, let's be right here. This next movement is called opening the chest and stretching the back. So I'm going to show it to you from two directions, this way and then from the side so you can see it. Listen to your body go where you can go. So you're going to sink down You're going to breathe in. You're going to slowly rise the arms to the height of the shoulders. When they're at the height of the shoulders, you're going to turn the palms so they face each other. You're going to separate the palms and the hands until the shoulder blades touch. As the shoulder blades touch, if you can, you're going to arch the head up. And if you can, arch back. You then come forward. Bring the arms forward as you exhale, and the whole body sinks. All right, we do this one 5 times, opening the chest, stretching the back. So I do it from the side so you can see, so that it's here, height of the shoulders, turn the palms so they face, separate the palms so the shoulder blades touch, back with the head, and then if you can, arch. Then you come forward as you exhale, palms down, whole body sinks. All right, we got it? Thumbs up? Yes? All right, we're gonna do 5 of these in a row. So here we go, sinking down and bringing it up. Make sure that tongue is at the roof of the mouth. To the back, shoulder blades touch, then the neck, if you can, arch if you can. Then we come back as you exhale and down. That's 1. Here's 2. Separate the hands, shoulders meet, head back, back. Exhale, coming forward. All right, here we are with 3. And we want these to just flow into each other like the river flowing down the stream from the mountain. All right, here we go with 4. All right, we're gonna go with our last one on this one. We come forward. And this one is done, shake it out, opposite hand, opposite leg. This particular exercise is done so that you have the opportunity, if you're feeling like you need a little courage, you need a little boost to your confidence, these are the movements that you would do. Okay, so now let's have a seat. Because what I'd like to do is I think I'm close to my time. And I'm right on time. I want to be able to do this seated piece, which is part of our healing Qigong. I want you to sit tall, palms are down. And what I want you to do, make sure the tongue is at the roof of the mouth. We're going to be doing the bellows breathing. And this is, well, I'll explain. So this is, again, a variation on the all over body check-in. This is a way that we do it with the breath that I hope you will appreciate. It'll help the body relax. You can do it right before sleep. It's magnificent. So you're going to close your eyes and you're going to breathe, and you want to see the breath go into the belly as you breathe. And initially, what you want to do while you're breathing is you want to see a candlelight. So keep on breathing. You want to see the light of a candle in the belly. And keep breathing. And with each breath, you want to see that candlelight get bigger and brighter. And so that now it looks more like a roaring fire in the fireplace as you breathe. You feel it expanding. It's filling the entire belly with that fire. It's bright and full. And at the soles of your feet, as you're breathing, I want you to keep seeing the fire. I want you to feel the healing white light of the earth rising up from the soles of the feet, filling up the metatarsals, rising up through the foot, through the ankle, through the Achilles tendon, rising through the shin, through the calf, all the way up through the knee, coming up through the thigh, the hamstring, the groin, on into the reproductive organs, filling the body with light, pure white light. And as we get to the belly, the white light merges with the fire and it becomes pure light. And the light continues to rise up the spine, filling the body, filling the belly, filling the internal organs, colon, kidney, liver, spleen, pancreas, gallbladder, appendix, lungs, heart, kidneys, continuing to rise, filling the throat and filling all of the lymph nodes and glands all the way up through the shoulders and down the arms into the hands, filling up the neck. The neck and head and shoulders is what we call the heavenly pillars. So it continues to rise, curling up through the chin, curling up the back of the head, past the mouth and nose and ears and up through the eyes, filled with white light, continuing to rise and filling the crown. So the inside of the body is completely filled with this white light. And as we continue to breathe, tongue at the roof of the mouth, jaws lightly clenched, pushing and pulling at the pinky spot with the belly, we want to see this white light expand and engulf the body so that we are now situated inside a little egg, a little orb, a little white and gold, sunlight colored orb of light, or it could be an egg. Either way, we're inside this healing light from the earth. Let your body relax. Let all the tension relax. And now, keep breathing from the pinky spot, seeing the body safe inside the healing golden white orb. And now we're going to let the orb recede into the body. And as the orb recedes into the body, we want to see it, all the white light begin to come down the front of the face. Down, it's releasing, it's coming down the front of the face, down the chin, down through the neck, down the chest, releasing through the arms, down into the reproductive organs and thighs as the light continues to go down, down the shin, down through the toes and back into the earth. The fire burns at the belly, continues to burn. It slowly returns to the candlelight. It slowly returns to the candlelight and it becomes the light that continues to move you, that is representative of the light of life that burns within. You see the breath continue to go there as we can release, visualizing the light. And I'd like you to do now is to open your eyes slowly and begin a rapid blinking. And then slow the blink rate down as your body adjusts to the light of the room. All right. Hopefully at this moment, you should feel relaxed. You should feel at peace. And you should have been able to feel our bodies go through a place of protection, a place of healing, and we should now be at a place of peace. What we have gone through is what we like to call our Kemetic AHA, which is our martial set. You have learned a little snippet of our martial Qigong, our medical and healing Qigong, and a little bit of a couple of our meditations, being the Asar stance meditation, and then our healing white light meditation that we did at the very end. So I am referred to as Seba by title. It means teacher in the language of the Medu Neter or Egyptian hieroglyphs. I am the founder of the Kemetic Aha and Sama Association, which is designed to bring Kemetic culture and history and return it to our people in a way that we are able to access the traditions of our ancestors. We may be reached on all the primary social media at Casa Aha, Khasa Aha, or you can look up my name, Inpu Kamut. Just like it sounds, not difficult. And so I'm grateful for the opportunity to serve on this illustrious day, this auspicious day, to serve our community, to partner with Brother James, to provide, hopefully y'all should be feeling really good right about now, energized and peaceful at the same time. So that was the goal for us to get moving today. And, if you want to check us out, we're on, like you said, all the social media. You can reach me on all those, even Twitter. Just depends on what platform you want to check out. We haven't got into the TikToks and Reels yet, because this is, we're still growing our association. So I'm the primary instructor. We also have a wonderful connection to a Black-owned spa out in the Palm Desert Hot Springs area, Black-owned. So to offer, they also, it's a healing spa that offers a great deal of things that you make sure you be interested and want to check those things out. Check them out. We're connected to groups of midwives that offer healing services for families beyond just pregnancy and women's health. Also, we're connected to acupuncturists as a part of the Kemetic Aha and Sama Association. We're working to be a full service organization for the community. We also have some licensed nutritionists and lactation specialists. So we have a wide variety of skills within the association to support community. We look forward to seeing you beyond today. I'll be seeing you all around. I'm in the neighborhood, I'm in the streets, and I'm also, moving around the different parts of the country. So I'm grateful for this opportunity. Thank you so much. That's it.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Could you please drop your handle in the chat if you haven't done so already?
Yes, I will.
Thank you. You are a huge resource, man. All the stuff you lined up, amazing resource. Where are you located out of?
I'm based in Los Angeles. Sorry about that.
All good.
Yeah, I'm based out of Los Angeles. However, I've done work throughout Southern California, depending on what's going on and what's happening. We have partners in other parts of the country. So like I have one of my senior student is in the Bay Area. He's conducting a retreat right now up in Yosemite. So if there are folks in the Bay, we have folks in the Bay Area. My teacher is currently teaching in New York City area. So that's those pieces that we have currently, but I'm, Southern California based. And, I have classes online, Zoom class on Tuesdays and Fridays, 8:30. And all that stuff is available on our link tree, which you can get through any of our social media.
Oh, thank you. I know I got a couple of questions, and then
Yes, sir.
Please hope everyone else can join in with questions. First one is, what is the difference between Tai Chi and Qigong? Because I love to know.
Understood. So we did primarily Tai Chi Chuan. Okay, Tai Chi means the supreme ultimate or the grand ultimate. Chuan means fist or path. So it's a way of moving through the world, we could say, or a way of self-defense. Okay. Qigong, on the other hand, Qi or Qi deals with breath, which loosely means the breath, and Gong means work. So Qigong basically means breath work, or those exercises that deal with breath. So as I said, what you learned today, some of it was martial Qigong or self-defense based, some of it was healing, and some of it was medical. And so you got those three. So there's a wide variety of different kinds of Qigong. Tai Chi Chuan is primarily a system that is designed for self-defense, that as a part of it being a whole system of self-defense, so it not only teaches things like most people would, blocks and kicks, redirects, those sort of things. It also has an aspect of wrestling, which you saw when we did this, and helping the body. So that's what we have. And that's the quick, easy way to talk about the differences.
Thank you. One more question really quickly. Our bodies are different. Like my body is different from yours, man.
Yes, sir.
how, and you did some things that really functional for everybody and stuff. I mean, how do you get other brothers to really tap into these practices that might feel like they got restrictions on their bodies? Like, I'm too big, I'm too small, I'm too this, I'm too that.
Well, hopefully just folks looking at me will get an example of everybody could do this. My body is not a traditional martial arts body. Although, you know, people want to come test these hands, they're welcome. You know, it's not, that's not the goal. You know, I'm getting old now, but in my youth, you know, as a martial code, we don't talk about what you used to do. But, you know, folks want to come test their hands, they're welcome to come to, come hang out for a minute. We can have some good fun, on that side. But the other side is that I know from the way our ancestors designed things that I'm not here to give you Tai Chi the way it was taught to me. I'm here to give you these healing methods in a way that works with your body. And so I've been trained both in the Western sense in terms of kinesiology and biomechanics to understand how the body works on that side. And additionally, I have the unbroken, mouth to ear traditions of how we move the body in terms of Qigong, Tai Chi Chuan. I've done partnerships when I was teaching at the University of Southern California through the student systems, with the intramural systems. I would have some of the practitioners in the student health center send students over to take the classes. And so I've also done work with HIV, so in terms of both at the Red Hook projects in Brooklyn, as well as here with the LA AIDS Foundation, doing work with at Drew Medical Center in the 90s. Back in the 90s, I did some things there with them. And so our goal is to show that it's a complementary system so that for most of the things that ail our people, high blood pressure, diabetes, heart issues, this can work to aid them in addressing those issues.
Thank you. Appreciate it so much. Anyone else have any questions, comments? How y'all feeling? Y'all can come off from mute if you want to, or drop it in the chat. This is a body of knowledge here that we don't always have access, not even aware of. A lot of
right.
I wasn't even aware of and stuff. So I appreciate you for bringing this in front of me to my own awareness and sharing your system with me. I am definitely going to stay connected and look more into it for myself. And I appreciate it. So
thank you, brother and family. It has been an honor to serve in this capacity. I look forward to seeing you if you have any questions, particularly as what we've gone through. Your body feels funny, body feels funky or something. It shouldn't. You should feel great. Okay. However, if something happens, something goes on, it shouldn't. But if it does, reach out, holler at me. Okay. And these are things that you can do periodically. We have about 18 months worth of video on our YouTube. So you can, even without me, you can jump on and start at the beginning and learn. It's not ideal, but considering that we're in COVID, I am doing classes Saturdays in Lamert Park at 10 o'clock in person. So, and that's where we are.
Thank you, brother. Much appreciation to you.
Peace to everyone. Thank you.
Peace. All right, y'all. We're gonna keep the thing going. We are gonna play a little bit of music, and as we transition to our next presenter. So y'all hold tight, get some water. I know all the breathing and stuff, you might dry mouth, get some water, chill for a second, and we're gonna bring it back. All right. All right, all right. Hello, everybody. Getting back into it. Next speaker we have coming up is in our community. All right, our next speaker we have coming up is I met him while speaking, and the amount of knowledge. So my thought process was like, man, the amount of knowledge in this dude, he looked like he about 21 years old. What's going on? How you know all this stuff, man? Very impressive, intelligent brother who has taken me as I followed up with him on my own path of holistic medicine and being able to look at different ways of looking at myself and my body. He has a naturopathic practice here in SoCal, and his work is important because we all want to be able to appreciate medicine and modern medicine, but also look at it in a way of how it can be beneficial for our current system and how it's working, how our current bodies. So I would love for y'all to please give a round of applause virtually. You can even say hello if you want to Dr. Ayo Banco. Thank y'all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Come on, man.
Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you, man. How you feeling today? Hello, hello. We got sound going. No. I think you are on mute, doctor. All right, y'all, we just getting the audio together. 1 second, hold tight. Whenever we get into technology, there's always also the opportunity for mechanical error. So this is where we take that breath practice in. This is where we take that relaxation practice in to allow ourselves to wait for technology to catch up to us. Working this out. So y'all just hold tight, get some water. Can't have too much water. Sorry about that, folks. We just getting the audio together. It'll be 1 second. Pause for technical difficulties. Yes, we can do some breathing. All right. Can everyone hear me? Everyone can hear me? Raise your hand if you can hear me, please.
I can.
All right, thank you. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Let me say what's up to everybody. Love to see everybody. Everybody, if y'all could do me a favor and just, I know most of y'all, I see most of y'all. Let me know where y'all from. Let me know in the chat. Where are y'all from? Yes, where you from? You can drop it.
I'm from Menifee, Sun City.
Awesome. Okay, out here in the Inland Empire. We got some IU folks. We got some LA folks. Some folks from all over. I appreciate y'all. So this was something that wouldn't get out of my head for the past couple of years. And it was Kansas. Okay. I've never been, I think I've been through Kansas. We got you, doctor?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we
All
got
right.
you. Awesome. Good.
Got it.
It works.
Okay, I still need to find the share screen, right?
Y'all enjoying it so far as we get this set up? Ooh. Did y'all learn anything new? Y'all learn some new stuff? All right, y'all really gonna learn some more stuff here. Just drop it in the chat if you learned something new. What did you learn? We learned some new breathing techniques or a new way to move, a new way to process.
All right, I think we're good, April. Anything else?
Ooh.
All right, I am heard now, right?
Yes, heard and seen.
Okay, all right, great. Thank you. Can't be stopped. Let's go. All right, let me just move this out of the way. All right, thank you, James, for allowing me to participate and share some information about Black men's health. It's a topic I hold dearly because I see a lot of my good brothers, my friends who may not always take as much action as they can on their health. I've seen my father who died of lung cancer largely as a consequence of some of his actions and behaviors in the way of smoking. So there is a lot of opportunity for us to do a lot more for ourselves, for our health. And the idea, the goal behind my presentation is to give a little bit of a foundation for some common actions that are not necessarily that big, but have far profound positive impacts on our health. So for today, we're going to talk about a little bit about the health crisis that we're in, and that health crisis being where we are as Black men in America in terms of our health, and even the Black family. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the healthcare system and how, in many ways, although we can get some good things from the conventional medical model, the conventional model as a system, unfortunately, has failed us. And I don't believe we can rely in total on that system or that model for our health. We're going to talk a little bit about self-empowerment, meaning some actionable things that we can, and I believe we need to be doing in order to protect our health, so that we're living our best life, so that we're here for our families, our significant others, our children. We're going to talk about what those basic strategies are, those actions. And like I said, what I'm going to try to do is speak mostly on those actions that have a positive impact on some of the most common conditions that we as Black men tend to have the highest of. And then also for any individuals, family members who are struggling with a burden of illness, and you haven't been able to get a solution from what you're doing on your own, you may need some additional support. I will invite you to have a free 15-minute discovery call with either myself or Dr. Blissett. She's the sister to my right. And we'll have a free 15-minute discussion to see if what you're struggling with is something that we can actually help you with. And if it is something that we can help you with, we'll invite you in for the next step. So I will invite you for that if you have a challenge and you're looking to do a bit more, and you know that more can be done regarding your health. So, excuse me. So our health crisis is largely a burden of disease, and in many ways, and with many of these conditions listed, our rate of burden is much higher than the general population. Heart disease is the #1 killer for white Americans, and not only white Americans, but also Black Americans and also Black men. Cancer, especially prostate cancer, unintentional injuries, especially for younger males, not so much for older males. Homicide, and even police violence pushes homicide up. In fact, it's #6 among young Black men as a cause of death, police violence. Stroke, and then I'm going to skip down, not high enough on the list by itself is hypertension, but heart disease is linked to or is a cause of stroke. Hypertension is a cause of stroke. Hypertension is a cause of heart disease. So let's consider that those are all interrelated conditions: cardiovascular disease, stroke, heart disease, hypertension. Under stroke is diabetes. And we know that obesity is the #1 risk factor for diabetes, lung diseases, and kidney diseases. So those are the medical conditions that are impacting the health of Black men primarily. And like I said before, I think the conventional medical model has not been a full total solution for us. In many ways, the conventional model actually does excel in some areas like crisis management. So if you have hypertension and you wind up having a stroke, or if you have diabetes and you have a crisis of blood sugar, you can go to the emergency room and you'll pretty much get tuned up as long as you get there early enough and not too much damage has been caused. But the problem is once you go home, you're still dealing with the diabetes or the high blood pressure or whatever background underlying condition that you came in there with. And so one of the reasons why conventional medicine doesn't do an excellent job in managing chronic disease is because the treatments aren't really based and directed towards addressing the root cause of these diseases. And we're going to talk about, as examples, prostate cancer, high blood pressure amongst Black men. And you'll see in some regards how some of the risk factors differ for us than some of our other counterparts. And so the reality is that a medication or a drug does not treat all of the potential underlying risk factors and causes for the diseases that we have. So conventional medicine is poor at chronic disease management. In some ways, we may underutilize the conventional model. It could be because of lack of access to healthcare, perhaps not having medical insurance. And when that happens, we're not properly screened and we may not get a proper diagnosis. And the downside of that is that the damage caused by chronic disease 5 and 10 years down the line starts to increase. So it is important to always have our finger on the pulse in terms of what's going on with our health. I think that's one of the biggest potential benefits of the conventional model is routine screening. But at the same time, over-reliance can be a problem, because ultimately, if we rely totally on conventional medicine to cure us, then all we're doing is taking pills that, again, don't address the root cause. Those pills, those prescription medications, for that moment will lower our blood pressure. It'll lower our blood sugar, but they're not really getting at the reason why we have high blood pressure, or the reason why our blood sugar may not, why our blood sugar is high. Obviously, medications aren't going to address what impacts our stress and psychosocial issues. So the reality is we just have to be willing to do a lot more than receive therapies by conventional medicine. So self-empowerment, since the system is not designed to, one, really address the needs of Black men, and number two, since it doesn't really address the root cause, we just have to really learn to take action. And that's in large part what James is doing with this offering today, with this seminar, is giving us the ability to, in a sense, treat ourselves and address the causes, the harm that's causing our health. So we have to take action, take more self-reliance. What I recommend is that we always assess our own health and also assess our behaviors and ask, are we doing everything that we can to protect our health based upon what we might be at risk for? So kind of survey and assess our lifestyle, our behavior, our nutrition, our environment, our relationships, etc., because it all impacts our health. So let's go into some of the basic lifestyle strategies. Because I'm a naturopathic doctor, I focus a lot on biology and a lot on lifestyle, especially food and nutrition. So some basic nutritional habits. And then, I do want to start off by saying that my goal is not to express things that are things that are necessarily that you necessarily have not heard of, but more so to put things in a way where if you've heard it, but you have not begun to really do it, to really put it into your lifestyle, that hopefully this presentation will get you to the point where these are things that you don't only know, but these become things that you are actually incorporating and doing in your everyday life. So it has a positive impact on your personal health and that of your family. So number one, in terms of nutrition, the number one nutritional habit that I think can help minimize our risk of these chronic diseases is to incorporate a plethora of fresh produce into our diet. The number of servings of produce that we're looking for each day is between 5 and 7 servings of vegetables a day. Some fruit is okay too. A couple servings is fine, but we want to focus primarily on the vegetable in all forms, cooked, raw, soups, sauteed, etc. So the goal is, again, to get that 5 to 7 servings of fresh produce in our diet every day. That's a great way to help minimize the risk and treat virtually every single human chronic disease. You see on the picture below, there's some animal protein, which is okay. If we're consuming animal protein, it should be the cleanest and the healthiest that you can find. And there's some healthy grains there also. I like the saying by Michael Pollan, who's an author, and he's also a journalist at UC Berkeley. And he researches, he reviews the scientific research of health and nutrition, and he sort of synthesizes the science part and takes the recommendations and puts them in the simplest terms. And something he says really resonates with me in terms of how to approach food. He says, eat food, not too much, mostly plants. So when he says eat food, not everything that comes on the shelf and comes in packages and that we can buy in the supermarket or in restaurants or fast food chains is necessarily food, right? They'll sell it, but it doesn't necessarily qualify as food. So eat food, mostly plants. So we can eat, we can eat a wide variety of sources of food, but we want most of what we eat to be live plants and not too much. So we don't want to always be eating. We want to eat regular structured meals. And we'll talk a little bit about timing also, because that's important too. So a little bit more about food. Avoid processed and fried foods. So this chart here, or this image, talks about compounds in our diet that make up something called eicosanoids. And eicosanoids ultimately determine how much inflammation is in our bodies. And if you don't know, inflammation is linked to every single human disease, from acute diseases to chronic disease. Even psychiatric disorders are being linked to inflammation. So what we eat, in other words, influences our balance of eicosanoids, which ultimately influences the amount of inflammatory or anti-inflammatory compounds that are in our diet. So look over to your left, and those are omega-6s. So you see corn, and that could also be vegetable oils, for example. Those are omega-6s. So if we have a little bit of omega-6s in our diet, there's an anti-inflammatory influence. And then look over to the far right, you see omega-3s. If we have a lot of omega-3s, we have an anti-inflammatory effect in the body. But the problem is that the ratio of these should be like 1 to 1 or 1 to 2. So they should be 20 to 1. But when it comes to how we eat, or the Western diet, in other words, we're eating way more omega-6s than we are omega-3s. And so when we overeat omega-6s, you see this red arrow going down. GLA, DGLA, and then you see that arrow moving to the right, then we're starting to create a bunch of pro-inflammatory compounds. And so the American diet is characteristic of an imbalance in these essential fatty acids. Ultimately, that imbalance is shifting away from the healthy anti-inflammatory fatty acids to the pro-inflammatory fatty acids. Other causes of why there's so much pro-inflammatory effect in our diet is because of the overconsumption of conventional raised farm animals, fried foods, and processed foods. So we'll show you how to fix that. So food and nutrition really has a powerful impact on the outcome of our health. This young lady here is has been researching the interplay between our genes and the expression of our genes and human disease and how that relates to food. And she says, based on her research, the effect of food and genes, this affects not only the genes that cause inflammation in the body, but also genes associated with the development of cardiovascular diseases, some cancers, dementia, type 2 diabetes, all the major lifestyle related diseases. So what she's referring to is how what we eat, the level of our stress, the amount of sleep we get, how that all influences the expression of our DNA, the expression of our genes, which influences our risk of having these diseases. So that's how profound and impactful the food is that we eat ultimately on our health. So it's not just that produce that you get fiber, or that you get vitamins and minerals from produce, or even that you get phytonutrients by eating more produce, but that all of that actually speaks to our DNA. In other words, it influences the behavior of our DNA. It doesn't change our DNA, in terms of the genetic code, but it does influence the expression of our genetic code. So some of my favorite nutrients that really can benefit all of us and really are protective of most any disease and have a role in helping to overcome most any diseases. Some of my favorite are curcumin, from the root turmeric on the left. That is nature's probably most powerful anti-inflammatory. It's helpful in decreasing risk of cancer and even treating cancer in high doses. Omega-3s from fish oil, they can be obtained from consuming fish, but because of the environmental pollution that we've caused the earth and ultimately our waterways and marine life, we may want to limit the amount of fish that we consume. So one way to increase the amount of omega-3s is by supplementing with fish oil or omega-3 marine oils, also for their anti-inflammatory effect, helpful in preventing cancer, helpful in treating and reversing cardiovascular disease. Of course, next is green tea, potent compounds that can decrease and minimize cancer growth, potent antioxidant, also anti-inflammatory. And then to the right is vitamin D. Vitamin D, I think, is really a hormone rather than a vitamin. Vitamin D deficiency is epidemic, and that's because we spend most of our time indoors. And vitamin D comes from sun rays, UV rays penetrating our skin and activating and converting hormones in the body, ultimately to active vitamin D. Without adequate UV ray exposure, then we don't manufacture enough of our own vitamin D. So I think it's a healthy measure to increase our sun exposure, greet the morning sun and spend time outside, spend time in green space. But it's not always enough. Based on our schedule, we may not always get enough sun exposure to get our vitamin D levels up to the count that we know is protective and preventative of cancer, protective of a healthy cardiovascular system. So, so another tip is to get your vitamin D levels tested when your doctor orders your or draws your blood, not draws your blood, but orders lab work on you. And so next is movement, mental health, and sunshine. Behaviors, again, that have profound impact on our risk of chronic disease. So stress reduction, I think that's particularly huge and significant for Black men. We are known to suffer from higher rates of stress that are directly correlated with increased risk of chronic disease, especially cardiovascular disease and hypertension. And that's something that the scientific literature recognizes, and even the link and relationship between racism and stress and chronic disease. So there are lots of measures that we can take to address stress, deep breathing, yoga, meditation, meditative like activities, and also more vigorous activities as well. Taking stock of our challenges and our goals, and seeking help, seeking counseling, seeking guidance, going to someone to help create a strategy to overcome a challenge that we're struggling with. I think that's one of the ways that we can counterbalance and help to overcome stress. Self-care in all forms, joy and laughter, improving the quality of our relationships, no matter the current level of the quality of those relationships, always seeking and working on improving that quality. And proper sleep meaning not sleeping, not just the quantity of sleep, but actually when we sleep. And it turns out that when we sleep is extremely well correlated to health outcomes. We need people to work overnight. So if you're one of those individuals who has a night job and you're not able to switch it, we thank you for the service that you provide. But for any of you who may be staying up all hours of the night and really don't have to, that is certainly a risk factor for poor health and poor disease, chronic disease. So sleeping at nighttime, waking up in the morning with the sun is a profound health strategy. So I wanted to talk a little bit about prostate cancer and hypertension, only as examples for some of our unique rates, risks, and some of the things that we can do to minimize these diseases. So when it comes to prostate cancer, the rate of prostate cancer in Black men is about 60% higher than it is in our counterparts. Black men are more likely to develop prostate cancer, and we're also more likely to be diagnosed with prostate cancer at a younger age. And if we are diagnosed with prostate cancer, we're more likely to have a more aggressive grade of prostate cancer. So we probably all heard the notion that most men die with prostate cancer, but not from prostate cancer. But I want you all to keep in mind, though, that is particularly dependent upon the type. So there are some aggressive forms of prostate cancer. And if you have an aggressive form of prostate cancer, that prostate cancer is far more likely to metastasize, which would make you less likely to die having prostate cancer, but possibly more likely to die from prostate cancer. So we're also, and also when it comes to the grade of prostate cancer, we're also more likely to die with lower grade prostate cancer than our counterparts. So there are some potentially genetic reasons for this that appear to me not to be completely worked out in the research. And also there are some environmental and social reasons too. So some associations with prostate cancer, these are not just with Black men, but with men in general, but there may be some differences with Black men. So Black men, unfortunately, we have high rates of obesity, and obesity is linked and associated with a wide range of diseases, including prostate cancer, diabetes, colorectal cancer. Eating a diet high in animal protein, trans fats, and animal saturated fats is also linked to metastasis of prostate cancer, and some studies link it to higher rates of prostate cancer. So again, going back to the benefit of increasing our produce and decreasing our animal protein, there's the benefit there. And then one that may not be so well known is a substance called choline is represented really high in chicken skin and egg yolk, and higher consumption of choline is actually also linked to prostate cancer. So eggs are certainly a healthy protein. They have about the highest biological value, but there's a limit to the amount of eggs we want to eat in our diet for the reason of saturated fat, but also because of the potential link that exists between high consumption of this choline substance and prostate cancer. The next is heterocyclic amines. So, you know, that tasty flavor that we get with barbecued meat, with with grilling meats or high temperature cooking. Well, that generates a carcinogenic compound known as heterocyclic amines. And that compound is linked to prostate cancer. It's also linked to colorectal cancer as well. So it's another reason to limit the amount of animal protein that we're consuming, and then also to be careful and watchful of cooking measures too when we are eating animal protein. And so some other associations and links to prostate cancer are inflammation. I mentioned inflammation earlier and how it's linked to virtually every human disease. It's also linked to prostate cancer. And xenoestrogens or xenobiotics. So what those are foreign synthetic compounds in the environment. They're essentially industrial chemicals, right? Pesticides, plasticizers, bisphenol A, those types of compounds, polyaromatic hydrocarbons. Those compounds are actually linked to increasing risk of prostate cancer also. So there's a huge, so there's also an environmental relationship to toxins and the influence that environmental toxins have on the behavior of prostate cells and a risk of prostate cancer also. So that underscores the benefit of minimizing our exposure to environmental toxins as much as possible. So this may be why certain communities, based on if they're located closer to industry, if, you know, like say that cancer belt throughout the South and Louisiana, that population of people who live there, they have the highest rates of cancer in the United States. And that's where the majority of refineries and industry are located in the United States. And that's because of the proximity to and higher rate of exposure to industrial compounds. So cleansing and detoxification is one way we can lower our burden, our storage of environmental toxins. And not as quite as influential for prostate cancer as for other cancers, but important is the negative effects of dietary sugar or foods that quickly turn into sugar. And that's because sugar causes an increased secretion of our own insulin, and insulin is a growth promoting hormone. And also insulin and sugar increases the secretion of another hormone called insulin-like growth factor. So when there's more insulin and insulin-like growth factor around, there tends to be easier growth and spread of cancer cells. So the strategy then is to limit, modify processed foods, sugars, and again, increase our produce and minimize animal protein when we are eating animal protein, clean caught fish, wild salmon, for example. If we're eating beef, then grass-fed organic beef, but in moderation, we would want to minimize that. So those are some strategies for prostate cancer. And then hypertension. So, actually, I didn't know this fact until I was putting this presentation together, but Black men in America, we have the highest rate of hypertension globally. Our rates are 16% higher than white Americans. The death rate for hypertension is twice as high amongst Black men as well as Black women than white Americans. And those of us who are seeking treatment, rather we're taking medications, despite how aware we are of hypertension, tend to have blood pressure that's less likely to be controlled. And I think that goes back to what I had mentioned in one of the first slides in this presentation, is that medications alone just aren't treating the reason why chronic disease exists, and especially when it comes to some of these chronic diseases in us. So we always want to gravitate to therapy that identifies and addresses the root cause, and also addresses all risk factors simultaneously. So as far as hypertension, it gives us a 16% increased risk of stroke, even without, for the same increase in blood pressure of our white counterpart gives us a 16% increased risk of stroke. That is the top number, the systolic blood pressure. There are some differences. Some of them appear to potentially be genetic, but I believe the larger impact, I think, is just not yet delineated in science or research, is going to be the impact that stress has on changing the dynamics of how our kidneys filter water and retain sodium. There are some differences that have been found between most Black Americans who have hypertension compared to white Americans. We tend to absorb more sodium. So you may have heard the term salt sensitivity. So that's a real thing, and it's less common in white Americans. What that means is that is extremely important for us to minimize dietary sodium. If we're eating a lot of processed food, you can't minimize sodium because they've already put all the sodium in that food in the first place. So there's that relationship. Another one, and this is probably even more directly linked to psychosocial stress, the stress of our environment, racism, etc. It's found that Black men have adrenal gland hypertrophy or enlargement. So the adrenal glands are our endocrine organs that not only help regulate the tension of our arteries, not only help regulate fluid exchange, but also make cortisol, which is our stress hormone. when we're under acute stress or when we're starting our day, our cortisol is normally a bit higher. And when we're not under stress or when we're in relaxed state, or as the day winds down towards the evening, then our cortisol naturally declines. One of the reasons for an enlarged adrenal gland is when the adrenal gland is under constant stress and duress and is having to output more cortisol to meet the demands of our life, of our day, our week, our month. And I think that is another example of the profound relationship between our environment and stress and hypertension. So some other associations, I think we've already talked about: psychosocial stress, economic, healthcare access. It really can apply to all diseases. Obesity, really with every chronic disease, right? Diabetes, prostate cancer, hypertension, heart disease, colorectal cancer, lead levels, and that goes back to the environment. And there are some communities where there is a lot of lead, water, Michigan, Flint, Benson Harbor, I think, is another area. Lead is in older neighborhoods that have older homes where they have not been repainted, for example. But lead is linked to hypertension, and uniquely, it's more linked to hypertension in Black Americans than it is white Americans. Also, it appears that having depression, lead serves as a additive environmental risk factor for those who have depression, because they have even higher rates of hypertension than individuals who may not have depression. So there are some unique attributes that environmental toxins pose on Black Americans that they may not necessarily pose to the same degree as other Americans. And I don't think that that at this point in time there's a good scientific explanation for why that is, but it somehow, but I would argue that somehow is probably linked to psychosocial stress somehow. So the approach that we advise for addressing healthcare is one that's more comprehensive. It's not just to give a medicine, it's not just to give an herb or to give a vitamin, but to really assess what are all of the pieces of healthcare that are not missing and to add them in. So those pieces that are generally not missing in conventional medicine or nutrition, you go into your conventional doctor and they may say you need to lose weight, they may say you need to avoid sodium, but you're not likely to be instructed in a sound nutritional protocol that really addresses that disease. So that's a missing component. Laboratory testing. So everyone gets lab testing, but usually it's very basic and rudimentary. Hormones aren't tested. Genetic risk factors aren't assessed for. Nutrient deficiencies aren't evaluated for. So a wider variety of testing is important to help identify and put our finger on what may be each individual's unique risk factors for not having the best health, or even for having whatever chronic disease might be present. Gut health is another component that's often missing. There's a really important relationship between the brain and the digestive system. In fact, there's bi-directional communication between the brain and the gut. And science and research has been uncovering how important this communication is. And, some of what has been known for a long time is the fact that most of our immune system is actually within our digestive tract, or that we make more serotonin in our gut than we actually make in our brain. But also, it's more recently been discovered that the ecosystem of our gut, the microbiome, in other words, the relationship of the species of bacteria that live in our gut, actually are part of what is influencing chronic disease, influencing our risk of cardiovascular disease, even influencing how well people respond to conventional drugs like chemotherapy, even increasing or influencing our risk of being obese or being thin, our risk of if I didn't mention it, our risk of inflammation. So I believe it should be more standard to address and assess the gut, especially the microbiome, because when the gut is addressed, then it's easier to put together or arrive at a solution for other chronic diseases because of the influence that the gut has on overall health. And then cleansing and detoxification. And that is because environmental toxins have long been shown to be not only present in our environment, it's been well proven that from the moment of our conception, we have already been exposed to and already store well over 200 compounds, 200 different toxic environmental compounds. And so most of these actually store in our bodies throughout our whole life, and they affect the most delicate aspects of our body, like our immune system, our endocrine system, and our neurologic system. Well, our organs can process out and break down these environmental toxins with the right food and with the right strategy. So because these toxins actually impact human health, it should be brought in as a way to address human health because it's a risk factor for these diseases. And then lastly, another missing piece is coaching and mentorship. And that's because having health is not as simple in most cases, as far as individuals with chronic disease, is just taking fish oil or taking a diuretic or a beta blocker or a diabetic medication. And there's a lot of misinformation in terms of what's the right lifestyle or nutritional or therapeutic protocol. So mentorship is missing because and is needed so that people have a right sense of what's the right therapeutic nutritional lifestyle strategy for what their unique risk factors are. So those are some of the areas that are missing. And really what's required to address health more comprehensively and to help ensure that we have better outcomes for our health and that we have a therapeutic protocol that can actually help us reach our goal is that all of these pillars or these missing pieces or pillars are put together in a unique strategy because all of these are interrelated. They all work together. So nutrition as a foundation of health, lab testing, mentorship, gut health, cleansing, and detoxification. So in other words, if we don't have all of these pieces to address our health, it could very well be the reason why we haven't come upon a solution to a particular chronic disease that we may have. So it's extremely important to have a comprehensive strategy that does not leave out the missing pieces that are required for health. So it's commonly said that knowledge is power, but we can know all about everything that we need to know or what we need to do. But actually, if we don't apply that knowledge, if we don't integrate it into our day-to-day life, that knowledge really doesn't make a difference. It really doesn't have an impact. So the goal, the point of this ultimately is to take action on our health, to move to add in and incorporate the dietary and lifestyle strategies and behaviors that we can to address and get our health so that we're here for ourselves and our families. So how can we address our health? How can we determine the future of our health? So by ensuring that we do a few things, an evaluation to truly understand that details our risk factors through laboratory testing and a detailed history and evaluation, by not just giving substances that might temporarily improve our blood pressure or our blood sugar, but don't really get at why our blood pressure or our blood sugar, those are just our examples, are abnormal. So in other words, applying a strategy that really addresses the root cause and doing so comprehensively, addressing the body as a whole, taking a systematic approach and really treating the body comprehensively. And then lastly, coaching and mentoring and empowerment, so that each of us, when it comes to our health, we're not just a subject, and where you simply do what you're told to do, but you take action, you take accountability, and you take ownership of health. And I believe that these are the attributes that are required for us to ultimately have health more abundantly, and to have it in a way that actually increases our longevity and decreases our risk and burden of chronic disease. So for those of you who have a health challenge, I did say that I would extend an invitation to have a free 15-minute discovery call. That would be with either myself or Dr. Blissett. And that is an offering that we do to, if you're struggling with a health challenge, or if you just want to optimize your health. We actually have strategies that are longer and more comprehensive for individuals who have a more significant burden of disease, or shorter, less comprehensive strategies for individuals that have less burden of disease, or may just want to optimize their health. But we call this a free 15-minute discovery call, where you'll speak to either myself or Dr. Blissett, and we'll talk about what your health challenge is, how that health challenge has been impacting your health, what you've done so far to address your health. And as long as we feel that what my team and I does is therapeutic and helpful, then we'll talk about how we work, what we do in our practice, and how that might benefit you. This is, excuse me, this is step one. But we would invite you, if we felt we can help you, for step two, which is the next step consultation. So I sincerely hope that all of you heard and felt something in this presentation that will help move and step you in the direction of what you may have already known was right, but maybe you just hadn't quite taken action on it.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes,
All right, sorry about that. I was confessing of my sugar addiction. I've cut it down to the weekends, but when the weekends come, I'm running to them. I'm running to the sweets. And does it balance it out that I exercise, or still just intaking sugar is just not good for the body, period?
So I think we're designed to love and crave things that are sweet. So doing that is okay. What I would recommend is that you set aside your favorites and occasionally have them, as long as you're not going overboard. the fact that you exercise is certainly helpful, but I would also look for opportunities to satisfy some of your sweet cravings with things that are natural rather than only something that has refined or processed sugar. One of the things that we do is we'll often take fresh berries and then take some organic whipping cream and maybe a little bit of cinnamon, just for example. Sometimes we'll also just have a little bit of organic, not too sweet dark chocolate occasionally too. So balance is good.
What about honey? If I eat a lot of honey and use honey as a sweetener, is that better than traditional sweeteners?
No, sugar is sugar, but it's not bad. It's really just the amount. So honey has some nutritional properties, but if we're at a point where everything has to be sweet, or we're always adding sweetener to what we're eating, or we don't like anything that's not sweet, or we don't like anything that's bitter, we don't enjoy all of the palates, savory, bitter, sour, etc., then that is a sign that it can impact our health negatively. So I think it's really about amount or quantity.
Does anyone else have any questions for Dr. B? I got a call to get my my assessment, schedule mine. Do you also do blood work with the?
Absolutely. Yeah, and we go beyond the standard blood work, which for most people, they just get their cholesterol checked and their liver and kidney and their blood counts done. We tend to go far beyond that. We look at hormones, nutrient deficiencies. In many cases, we even look at stored toxic heavy metals, for example, inflammatory markers. For individuals who have risk factors for cardiovascular disease or a family history of cardiovascular disease, we'll even look at cardiovascular genetics. We even look at not just if someone's LDL or bad cholesterol is high, but if it's high, then there are simple tests that can be done to even tell us more about how bad the high cholesterol is. In other words, other features of bad cholesterol. So yeah, we routinely do comprehensive lab testing.
Oh, thank you. And so I know my grandfather passed of cancer, and cancer is in my family. Is it almost, and I know that genetics plays a big part in it, but is the genetics higher than lifestyle as far as risk for cancer diagnosis?
That's a really, really good question, James. So it really depends on the cancer. Overall, though, in general, the genetics is small, only roughly 10%. So the environment, our behavior, what we eat, do we exercise, when do we sleep, how much do we sleep, all of that trumps the genetics. The only exception is like say BRCA, right? BRCA1, BRCA2, which are, as an example, highly correlated with breast cancer in men or women, and prostate cancer in men. So, but those are exceptions. The rule, though, is that our lifestyle, our environment is the strongest factor. In fact, there's a saying that the genetics load the gun, but the environment pulls the trigger. So we can genetically be at risk of disease, but and it's why it's so important that we line up our health strategies and apply them so that the expression of that disease doesn't happen, because it doesn't have to.
That's a real one. One more question, if anyone else doesn't want to ask. The market for plant-based or processed fake meats is huge. Everyone has a Beyond Beef burger or Beyond and blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. How do you feel about those foods?
You know, they're overly processed. If you look at those foods and you read the label, you look at the ingredients and you recognize a lot of non-food items. So to me, it just doesn't make sense to avoid meat to eat a processed food. So I think it's, you know, if there's one that you really enjoy and you have it every once in a while, I don't think that would have a negative impact on your health. But I think ultimately though, the impact would be negative if one is relying on processed foods, rather it be processed meat or anything else processed. Yeah, whole unprocessed food is you know, is actually so much more delicious. I tried the Beyond Meat, and you know, it's Beyond Me that people like it.
That's funny. Yeah, I think I know for myself, transitioning several times into more of a plant-based diet. I think they make it more accessible and like, hey, you can do this instead. But all right, more vegetables, put those honey buns down, and all right, figure something else out. Does anyone else have any questions or comments, Dr. B?
I noticed some chats. If you want to read those questions to me, I'm happy to answer them.
Okay, sure. I think we just, those are the statements.
Oh yeah, thank you for sharing that link. So that's the link for the call. You can press that to schedule, or you can call our office.
Okay. So I see something about the lymphatic system. And I know that's a system that requires movement to flush in a lot of areas. What are some signs that we need to flush our lymphatic system? How does that manifest in our bodies?
That's a good question. I would imagine that people might have swelling under the arms and the groin, maybe a sensation of heaviness or congestion or discomfort. Also signs, not necessarily a sign, but if you know that you're exposed to a higher level of environmental toxins, you got to know that your lymphatics are probably congested and having to work overtime. Also possibly skin infections too, especially around the neck or under the arms might be a sign.
Thank you. Really, it's here and it's been here going on almost for 2 years. What can we do on the inside to manage the risk of COVID? What can we do?
Yeah, I think one of the most important strategies is nutrition, because the health of our immune system in part is a reflection of how well and balanced our nutrition is. So we do need enough dietary protein, because the immunoglobulins, which are the components of our immune system, are actually made from protein. Other nutrients that are really important for immune system function, vitamin D, right? We have higher rates of vitamin D as our levels of vitamin D decrease, and also our immune response, our antiviral immune response is at full capacity when our vitamin D levels are optimized. And then another nutrient that I like for general immune support is zinc. Optimal zinc allows the white blood cells to activate and and target pathogens better. So now none of that is necessarily specific to COVID, but in terms of general immune support, which we should believe is helpful for all viruses, those are some measures that could be done.
Thank you. We have a question. Thank you, Nefertiti. What is the best oil to cook with?
So, the issue with oils is one, if we're doing high temperature cooking. So overall, it's better to minimize high temperature cooking, because then what can happen with the fat in the oil or the food is it can become a trans fat, which then promotes cardiovascular disease. So no matter the oil we're using, it is beneficial to minimize high temperature cooking. But if we're using high temperature cooking for a recipe, some of the oils that are more stable are grapeseed oil, avocado oil, for example. Coconut oil is also believed to be stable as well, but that can impart a flavor into your food that that you may not want for that particular recipe. I have seen some research that olive oil is stable under high temperature cooking, but that's the exception of most of the data. Most of the data shows that olive oil has a lower smoke point, so meaning it can convert to a trans fat easily at high temperatures. So I still avoid high temperature cooking with olive oil. But olive oil is very healthy, uncooked or in low temperatures. So those are some of the healthier oil choices that I'm aware of. The other thing that's important about oils is that they not be processed with solvents or high temperature, because that can actually damage the health and quality of the oil. So in other words, cold pressed oils are better than oils that are extracted with solvents or chemicals. So you want the seed pressed and crushed to remove the oil.
I know I keep saying it, but one more question for me. What grocery store do you shop at? Where do you go and get all this stuff?
Mostly Sprouts.
Sprouts, okay.
Yeah, mostly Sprouts. A little bit of Trader Joe's. Farmers markets are great too.
Okay.
I know there's one on Main and Riverside that we used to go to, the mall area. I'm not sure what day, but
Saturday,
but that's a good place to get organic produce, especially. Also organic eggs and organic poultry.
okay. Do you have a system for like meal prepping and grocery shopping and all that kind of stuff, or you just go in there and whip stuff up?
Just a list.
Okay.
Yeah. Oftentimes pre-choosing recipes is helpful for knowing what you're going to get when you go to this grocery store, though. So that's a strategy we sometimes employ. Knowing, kind of planning in advance. I'm glad you asked that, because that is one of the challenges in maintaining really good dietary habits, say for a week or so, is planning. So if we don't plan, then we're really subject to eating whatever, or getting something that's fast that may not be our first choice. But when we plan, then we're more likely to have the foods that we want to consume and the meals that we want to have. So planning is really everything.
I agree. So I'm gonna go get a newspaper, see if Sprouts got some coupons, and get in there and do some things. And thank you so much, Dr. B. Really, really, really appreciate your knowledge, your expertise, and presenting the information that you shared with us. Thank you, everybody. So we're going to take another about 5-minute break, and we're going to come back. We're going to have a candid conversation. We're going to have a dialogue between us, you, and really just recap all the information that we learned today. One of the biggest things with Million Man Meditation is the opportunity to share information between all generations of Black men, young, old, in the middle, wherever. So we're just going to take a couple of minutes to recap, share some information, and then we're going to close this thing out. So we'll be back here at about 1:20. Once again, get some water, take a break, go check your cabinet, throw out the bologna and the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and everything like that, and go get some vegetables, some produce, and some water. All right, see y'all at 1:20. Peace. right. So, I want to make sure y'all can hear me. Here. And please take a second to check out the survey. If you want to know what's of interest to y'all. Want to know what is important to you. We want to know what helps you to function best in your life. So please fill out the survey, and if not, y'all can just, y'all probably got my contact, my email. Now I'll drop it in the chat. Let's talk. Let's have a conversation about what's important to us as people here. That hear me, important to us as Black men. If you feel like it's important to Black men, let's have a conversation about it. Maybe you have some questions, you hit me up. We can talk about it now, but one of the biggest things for me is having older Black men in my life who provided me with invaluable information. Information that, of course, I didn't have because I didn't have the life experiences to be there. And I know it is now my role, it is now my purpose to impart that information on the next generation. Community has showed me that it was passed on to me to be able to pass it on to the next set of folks from behind me. So that is a part of my mission, that is a part of who I am, being able to share that information and keeping it going within the community. So I find it so valuable, the information that I received today about health, about wellness, about the skills and tools that we can use to continue to function healthy and sometimes start to begin to function healthy. So I definitely want to hear from you and all of you of kind of what you felt like today. And then I have my brother on my right, your left on the screen, Brother Raymond. He is a father, a husband. How many years married? 9 years, 10 February. 10 years being married, 2 beautiful babies. I met him doing community work, and he was a brother who was so honest when he pulled me to the side. He was like, "Hey man, we gotta connect. We gotta sharpen each other and grow." And he has just been someone who's been there in all the work we've been doing, someone who has been helping me to develop personally, and create a greater vision for myself. And he's showing me what it's like to be a young father. He's showing me what it's like to be a young husband. He's been married for 10 years. And like 25, 30. Appreciate it though. Yeah, man. So we just taking these steps on this journey as he's creating more opportunities for himself and his family. So it's been a blessing to be here. And then my brother on my left, your right, is the chief himself, yoga master, has helped me so much in the yoga programs that we do, working with the young students in schools, as well as the jewelry. I wish he had some on, but he's a master jeweler and artist and creative and a master gardener. So the area that y'all were seeing in the backyard where we did the yoga at initially, we're going to turn that into a community garden. If y'all here in the Riverside area, come through, bring some gloves, bring some tools, but we really taking what Dr. Renko to heart. We know we need some more produce. Sprouts is great, Trader Joe's is great, but it's nothing like putting our own hands in the dirt and making it work for ourselves. So if you want to come out, please do. We want to make sure we are knowing what we're putting into our body. So I have these brothers around me. I'm very blessed. I'm very fortunate to have these brothers around me, as well as my brother Mike Brown on there. And shout out to everybody else, Mr. Cliff Wright, Mr. John Epps. My mentors showed me so much love, showed me just so much. And I know it doesn't come with a price from them, but it comes with the price of sharing that knowledge and letting it continue. So I'm definitely in that position where I'm ready to share the knowledge that I have and continue to learn. But I just want to open up a conversation. Anybody learned something today? Anybody felt like they grew today? Any y'all brothers want to share something, an experience of being here on site? We're just going to have a conversation before we wrap this thing up. What's one thing you took away from today, brother?
Community. You know, I met some new people today,
and we were just talking about it before we started, like just jumping in, just seeing the different personalities, like 5 and 10, one of the dudes I met today, I knew his life story, you know, and the work that he's doing to help other people in, you know, his community by using tragedy that he experienced in his life. He's now using that in his own nonprofit organization to help others to go through the process that he's already been through to heal himself. So that's what I learned today. Just community is super important. It's healing. And it's a blessing to just be a part of this and be here on site with James, that yoga dude, you know, just being here for, you know, the 5th year to experience just bringing this community of people together to share all the knowledge that everybody has. And I just appreciate all the information everybody has given today. And yeah, so that's what I learned. Community is important. So you gotta continue to build it, make it tight, and keep the people around you that you want to be like and really be like.
And I know, as I said, just turned 30 this year.
Yep.
When I was younger, I didn't even imagine what 30 would be like. But I thought I was going to get there with the tools that I received when I was younger. And those tools wasn't yoga, mindfulness, meditation, and all this kind of stuff. So I'm going to ask Mr. Darrell Harville, if you please, sir, come on if you're there. If not, I know my brother John Epps is there. Mr. Epps, how you doing today?
I'm good.
Good. Do you have any advice for your 30-year-old self as a Black man?
Plan for 70. I hate to say it like this. You said something very interesting. As a young person, you know, I tell people my story. I grew up in Philadelphia. Let me get my mic in a better place. Can you hear me a little bit better now?
Yes.
So I grew up in Philly. I didn't really think I was going to be 18 years old as a young Black male. So I didn't really have much of a plan either when I started out. But I have to say, the two things that happened, one, as I started to mature, I began to understand that the more I knew, the more I was willing to learn. And then the more I shared what I learned, which meant that I mastered what I learned, then the more I could consume. And so it became a cycle for me of the more I could grow, the more I could share, and the more I could share, the more I would grow. And so I kind of reinforced that cycle. And even today, as a quote, retired person, I work about 14 hours a day, right? I mean, it's really like it's retired in name only. But it's not work because everything I'm doing is exactly what I want to do. It's the work that helps me help other people, you know? So I think that's the first thing is just recognize that longevity counts, that if you invest, those returns on those investments will carry you a long way. So the more you invest in people in particular, and you know, James and I met, gosh, it's got to be about 3 or 4 years ago, at least, James, right?
Mhm.
And it was just like, you know, I want to talk with this brother, and I was saying things to him, and he was like, Mr. Epps, I never heard that before. And so it was like, okay, well, if you're willing to learn, I'm willing to teach. And over the years, that's really, I hope, helped him some. But I know for me, just knowing that you're investing and adding to the value of somebody else has been very helpful. So this comes back to, and it really is paying off, because I have to say, for me, today is super special. This past summer, I went through treatment for prostate cancer, and so my energy level has been really low. Not my spirits. My spirits are very high, but my physical has been very low. And just some of the things I heard here today, the ability to engage in all of the exercises that were going on here today, I wasn't able to stand up and do everything everybody else was doing. But even the things I was able to do, I already know I'm going to feel better. I already feel better because of them. But I also think I mostly feel better because I'm hanging out with the guys, because I'm with you all. And I don't think we take enough advantage of that. I don't think we recognize how important that is. You know, sometimes we get caught up in this whole generational thing where we feel like, well, you know, he's a baby boomer, so I don't have to listen to him, or she's, you know, this. But the reality is it's really important for us to have that uh, intergenerational connection, especially as men of color, because our heritage has been so distorted by our culture and by the political system we live in. So we need to bond as a way to strengthen each one of us and then to strengthen all of us. So when I saw this, I was like, you know, I need to, by example, be here, number one, so that now I can go back to a whole lot of people I know and say, you should have been there. You know, I'm looking at our numbers. I'm saying there's nothing wrong with small numbers. Don't get me wrong. There's, you know, one of my favorite Bible verses, Habakkuk 2:2, it says, despise not small beginnings, because, you know, you have to start where you start. But what I recognize is I hear all these people talking about diversity and equity, inclusion, all of these things that they want. Well, you got to build something. You got to get out there and put some time, energy, and effort into it. And it's not the spectacular things like, okay, I'm marching on this or I'm doing that, but it's this kind of work. It's the work that creates the foundation for the next generation. And that's the way I see this work. I see this work as not work for today, but work for 20 years from today when your kids are coming up, that number one, you're there as their father or their grandfather. You know, I'm a great grandfather. I really have been blessed. So I've got, you know, my children, my grandchildren, and my great grandchildren. And, you know, I'm very blessed to be here for those generations, to be able to invest in them. But I want the world they live in to be better. I want the world they live in to be greater. And so I'm really excited. I don't mean to talk that long, James. I'm sorry. But did
Good.
I answer your question?
Yes, you
Kind of,
did.
sort of. And the only other thing I'll say, you know me, so you can decide how you want to handle this. But certainly, you know, I don't mind sharing what I have with anyone. So if any of you want to reach out and you have questions, you just need somebody to talk to. Sometimes you're in a situation and you say, you know, who could I trust and speak with? Please, you know, reach out. I mean, you know, James can always give you a way to connect with me, because I believe that um, I am here for you. That's why I'm here. So please take advantage of that.
Thank you so much, Mr. Epps. You always feel and enlighten me, and I just appreciate you. Just lucky to have you in my community. You brought up so many things. As chief, I know just working with you brought my attention to so many things, and your connection with the kids is amazing. The youth that we work with. So we were talking about investing in community and community investing into us. For you right now as a Black man, what do you think is the most valuable investment that you can make into yourself? Yeah.
I think the most valuable investment you can make into yourself. Um, I'm I'm 25, so I ain't got it figured out yet. But so far, I found just investing the time just to sit with myself and just kind of understanding myself a bit more. Um, And in that understanding yourself, you're able to understand other people. Yeah, so I think that's been the biggest thing for me.
They're definitely 10 years older than me. I didn't know that. But yeah, I ain't got to figure it out either. I don't know if I'm ever going to figure it out. Just keep playing the game to figure out more myself. That's real. What's one of the biggest ways you study yourself?
I think like just different forms of meditation, whether that be just sitting down and sitting still, or being active and moving, sweating and pushing through whatever limits I feel like I might have. Yeah, those are two big ones for me.
And like really today, getting into my yoga practice, for a long time, my yoga practice was for my aesthetics or just to make me feel good on the inside. But really through this practice, learning and understanding, it is to get a greater sense of who I am. Once again, and that comes back into community. So the more I know who I am, the more I can place myself or allow myself to be placed in a position of giving to my community. At this current point in my life, it is very much understanding. I was probably really selfish back in the day. Me all the time. How can I be about me? Now looking at it as an opportunity to, how can I give? How can I share? And it's taken me a while to even value what I have as something to be able to share. And constantly being around men who let me know, hey, I see something in you. There's something in you that is valuable, that is worth sharing, has helped me to increase my own self-esteem, to increase my own self-worth, to make better decisions, to make healthier decisions in my life. Thank you for coming back on, Mr. Bogan. How you doing? We just share some words of wisdom about self-study, and we've talked with the stuff about that before. What has been some of your practices for learning yourself and developing a self-study practice?
So I assume that you're asking me, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, some of the things that I do, first of all, and one of the things that I think is important is be aware of the narrative, the underlying narrative that's running through your head. We have unconscious narratives that we go through. We also refer to it as implicit biases. We all have them. And to me, I think one of the most important things is self-assessment. Listening to the narrative that is going on in your head. One of the ways for myself that I actually am familiar or become familiar with what that narrative is through meditation for me. And in meditation, I have the opportunity to be, I have the opportunity to observe, to be an observer of my thoughts. And that's the thing that I think sometimes it does not happen but when you're in meditation, we always talk about come back to the breath, to recenter or to refocus or to re-anchor. But also in that time when your mind drifts, that kind of gives you kind of a snapshot of what's really running behind the surface. And then also too, is just setting intentions. Setting intentions for what you want to do. Also learning how to get out of your own way. Many times we have this underlying narrative where we think that maybe we're not worthy or that we're not capable of whatever it may be. And quite honestly, that's a lie. That is not the truth. You are capable and potentially can do pretty much anything that you want to do if you have the passion to do so. I know sometimes you hear that, you can be anything that you want to be. Well, yes, to a point. That's not necessarily true. Irwin decided, okay, you know what? I'm going to be a running back for the LA Rams. That's not realistic. So the thing is, you really need to really get to know yourself. And I think that self-assessment, meditation, time spent listening to your thoughts or observing your thought gives you really a great insight as to who you are. Just know that you can always change the narrative. And I'm just gonna conclude with this. I often say this, and this is how simple it can be. At any moment in time, you can change the direction of your life just by changing your thoughts. And what I also like to say is that every time, and this is just coming from my own personal spiritual reference, but every time you take a breath, you are in a new moment in time that you've never been. And in that moment in time, you can make a different choice by saying, this is what I am committed to do. Not what I want to do, but what are you committed to do? You know, and the thing is, we are all full of potentiality. And it's just a matter of whether or not we decide that this is, you know, that we're going to tap into it and become really true to who we really are. If that kind of gives you an idea how I roll.
Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. I am a Raider fan, so if you want to go ahead and play for the Rams, I support that, brother. I support that.
It wouldn't be pretty, man.
Mike Brown, if you're there, I got a question for you, Mike Brown. I've known Mike Brown. Thank you so much. I've known Mike Brown since we both was 17 years old in the streets of New Orleans, in the colleges of Xavier University. And Mike Brown, he knows me. He knows me, like I said, since I've been a kid. He's seen me angry. He didn't see me fighting, but you know, he knows I was out there fighting, doing stupid stuff. But Mike, man, as you gotten older, how have you been able to deal with your anger?
I think for me, expressing myself, expressing like hurt or whatever the feeling is that causes that anger has been helpful to me.
And I know you, like me, you grew up in a barbershop where being able to express things wasn't the first thing that you do in the chair. I know you got your podcast, The Art of Letting Go. Please everybody check that out. What have you seen from being able to express yourself? How has being able to express yourself change your life? The most beneficial thing you've noticed in expressing yourself for your life?
For me, probably safety. A lot of times, like if I feel uncomfortable or unsafe, you know, when I express myself, it kind of lets me know where I'm at. Does that make sense? Yeah. So just kind of being clear on, you know, me being comfortable in my body. And if I don't feel comfortable, then having to switch, you know, what that situation would look like or be for me.
Thank you, man. I'm glad you're comfortable with that mustache too, man. Just like you boy. And that goes back to, like we're talking about, that assessment, that awareness, that meditation time, just to let ourselves grow and develop. So I'm gonna wrap this up. We can go about our day, and I would be remiss if I did not bring the amazing Black women who put this all together on, or come out on camera. For me, please. They put in the work to make this happen. They put in the work to make us look good, and it just, what goes without saying, you know, behind every Black man is a Black woman, making it happen. So I just want to bring them on camera. We'll give them a hand. All right, wave to the team. Awesome. So, yeah, man, all the stuff that came together.
I knew that kitchen looked good, James.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It was all them. And I really thank y'all for allowing me to be a part of your community and allowing me to find space and find myself and find safety within this. Like I said, 5 years ago, I had the idea of Million Man Meditation because just these emotions, I had to do something with them. And we've just been developing it every year. We've been rained out. We've lost this, we lost that, of course, COVID. We still trying to figure it out. So please give me some ideas, give me some tips, send some folks over, and keep me accountable to my dream, my vision. I'm pouring more into this. For a long time, I've been hearing a nagging voice of, James, you need to continue to do this work, especially focusing on Black men. Not all of us have the skills and the tools that I've been fortunate to be exposed to through all of y'all. And I'm taking that more serious, and I'm being more accountable for that and letting it be a part of my life on a daily basis of being able to serve Black men, which is of course serving the community, serving the world. We're the world, we're the world, we're the world. We are the world. So I just want to thank y'all so much for showing up today. And I really appreciate and I love all of you. And I can't wait to see you again for the 6th annual. We might do it even bigger next year and have more than one event. And so if I call on you for your expertise to come do a workshop and everything, please act like you know me and pick up my phone call. Appreciate y'all so much. As we do, as always, feel free to feel free. And namaste. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Check out the website for more information and resources. And we're going to send you more resources now. We got you on the survey and stuff. We'll be sending you Black therapists. And if you didn't get the information that you needed today, please hit me up so I can provide you with some more information and resources. This is who I am. This is what I do. So help me do it. All right. Thank y'all so much. Peace, peace. Have a beautiful day. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Out. That's brother. Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thank you.